Dummy.
It's inaugural. What the fuck?
Yeah, this nigga can't even make. Man, go eat you some pizza.
We were trying to say
They some-
inaugural. My man said inaugural. What the hell is that?
I was laughing in the middle.
Nigga had turned Muslim.
Little lazy eye. That nigga keep them forest with her because in both eyes, don't
Tracy McGrady, look at that.
Nigga do look like Tracy McGrady.
But with the ears, though.
Yeah.
My boy got big.
What kind of shots Baron was talking about? I thought you taking headshots, my nigga. Like, I got some headshots.
Right, I thought you was
Put 'em on the
finna
net.
start your modeling career.
Get you a
You know
link.
he think he a model too. Every time he get his haircut, he in that bit.
Yeah, got
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at his eyebrow. Look at his hand to do his eyebrows and shit. Nigga,
doing
sit
the
your ass
doing the
down.
Will Smith and shit.
Bouncing off.
But you know, you're tuning in to the Dummies podcast. I'm Stock.
I'm Joe.
I'm tired.
And a motherfucking hootie, nigga.
And finally, we're here. Episode number 1, you dig?
We off and running. We off and running. son.
On this background,
All of that.
goddamn.
off
Look,
and
you know, it's been a long time coming. We did 15 practice episodes, and now finally we are here with episode number 1 that we putting out into the masses. You know, we're gonna be on all platforms. That's Google Play, that's iTunes, Spotify, I think is coming. On our website, that's thedummies.podcast.com. You can go check us out there. You know what I'm saying? Follow all our social medias. Everything we got is at the Dummies Podcast.
SoundCloud.
You don't have that, we'll text it, we'll email it, we'll do all that.
However, you know,
Right.
we got it all for you. Like just a little bit about the Dummies. We are lifelong friends, man, and we love to argue and debate different topics, whether it's sports, politics, business, hip hop. Whatever you see on your normal feed or your social media, 9 times out of 10, the Dummies is going to be talking about it. We're going to give our commentary about it. And we just hope that y'all enjoy it as much as we like talking about it. You dig?
Lifelong friends. We'll argue about anything, and we don't care what it's about, and argue for hours about it. So we just decided just to bring that to y'all, and you know, a lot of time we want to make sure it's right for y'all, and I just want to, you know, just start off just personally saying, you know, all the people that we've let view it and gave us feedback, and you know, all the wives that put up with us, and we had to put up with them.
You got
With the
that's the
time.
right part. We put up with them.
Yeah, with the time that it took for this, because hey, y'all think just starting a podcast is just cutting on the mic and start talking?
No, we had to learn a lot of lessons along
Right.
the way. But we do want to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Again, we just hope that y'all enjoy it as much as we do. Just a quick disclaimer, man. We do like using the word nigga. I mean, we feel like
curse words too. Yeah.
just to be upfront and let everybody know, this is a candid conversation between friends. I know it's on a mic, it's going live, but just know that when you hear this is us. This is how we talk.
Exactly. This is how we
we
was
don't
raised.
care about none of this recording equipment, man. We just really gonna give y'all uncut, raw
Realness.
feelings, thoughts that we
Right.
have about it. And, you know, sometimes, you know, we may mess up. We may say some stuff. We'll, you know, correct the stuff that's real bad. But the other stuff, man, you know, you might hear some cuss words. Hopefully you're not too sensitive about it.
Right.
And
Because we not
hopefully you enjoy what the Dummies got to offer.
And Mama, thank you for the listen, but cut it off right now. You know, it's counted. They done counted that, so you go ahead and cut it off.
But
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
But what I want everybody to understand is these are our opinions.
Right.
That's
Right.
no
First and
bearing on
foremost.
what you believe in or anything. Everybody has their opinion.
Exactly.
Everybody's entitled to those
And-
opinions.
And going off of that, we are definitely going to tell you facts as we find it on the news, as we see it or whatnot. But after that, we're going to offer our opinions on what
Right.
you see.
Right.
And if we're ever wrong on anything, let us know.
Yeah,
we
let
don't
us
have
know.
a problem
We want
correcting ourselves.
interaction. Holler at
Right.
us. Jump in our, you know, inboxes, you know, comments. Let us know how you feeling about it.
And also with that, we're never gonna be disrespectful toward anybody. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We just gonna say some
Right.
shit, but we ain't gonna be like, this bitch
Oh,
is tripping.
no.
This
We gonna
motherfucker.
be more.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try not to. We're gonna try not to
I
at
don't
least.
know.
Try
But
not to.
yeah, and I just wanted to say too, throw in that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Everybody introduce themselves. We got a man behind the scenes who make all this happen.
Young
You know what I'm
Dez.
saying? When you hear us,
Right.
you hear the quality of it. Young Dez is in there. He
Dez.
making sure that, you know, we get our facts straight. You know what I'm saying? He edit all the stuff, and we wouldn't be doing what we doing without Young Dez. So shouts out to Young Dez.
Yeah, young
Yeah,
Dez got
yeah.
that little
Yeah.
nigga. That little nigga got a lot of titles. Goddamn, he the engineer. He go get the liquor.
The
he
Look Up
goddamn
Man.
Find us
We
some
don't have a
stickers.
proper name for it. It's
Yeah.
called Look Up Man, nigga. Look
Young
up, Dez.
Exactly. Dez, get that right there.
Hey, but diving into our little, you know, what we got going this week. Entertainment news, man. I'm so tired of talking about Nicki Minaj, boy. I
it never
promise
stops.
I am. But we saw that Nicki Minaj, after her, debacle, fight, whatever you want to call it, with Cardi B, we saw that basically she wrapped up an explosive interview on an episode of Queen Radio, my bad, just days after her Fashion Week fight with Cardi B, and she really held nothing back. She basically spoke on the night, and she found the incident mortifying, humiliating, especially considering that it took place in front of a lot of upper echelon people who basically got their lives together. Did anybody have a chance to catch that story or see what was going on with that particular story?
Yeah, I listened to a lot of the snippets. I actually went tuned in for a good 5 seconds. I don't know why, but I did.
My boy said 5 seconds.
Yeah, fool. Cause soon as I cut on that bitch, she was screaming loud in that fucking voice that I hate that animated voice shit.
Yeah,
But to be fair, I understand where she was coming from. Like she was like, you don't put your hands on people, and I'm with that. I'm the same way. I don't believe in putting my hands on nobody.
And just to jump in, like she did address the issues because it was alleged that she had said something about the girls, about Cardi B's kid.
Yeah.
And she said that she would, and this is a quote from her, that I would never ridicule anyone's child. It's so sad for someone to pin that on somebody. I would never talk about anyone's child or parenting. That these lies are ridiculous. So she basically said that she never once said that, but she went on to further say that that basically if you put your hands on certain people, you're gonna die. Period. These is quotes from her. Right. And y'all sitting here making this shit a joke. I'm not. She told Cardi, I'm not the bitches in the strip club, and I'm not bitches on reality shows. My money is very fucking long.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's incriminating yourself. Because
Man,
if something happens
she's
to her,
snitching. And I feel like, man, if you push somebody and they punch you in the eye, you can't say why you ain't pushing me back.
Hold on, I got a question for you. How's she snitching?
Because, well, first she snitched when she said that Cardi jumped on somebody in the strip club.
She ain't saying nothing that ain't already out there.
But it's a bigger platform when you say it as Nicki Minaj.
I don't know.
More ears are hearing it.
Yeah, but it's out there on all platforms already. That everywhere I was looking, I was seeing that Cardi, they jumped the stripper. They
I'm
talked
not gonna lie
about
to
it.
you, that-
They talked about it on Breakfast Club.
Yeah, they talked about it on Breakfast Club, but like that was the first time I really paid attention to it when Nicki was like, yeah, because it was kind of like rumors or whatever. But you just don't put that. But first of all, you go out there and be liking somebody picks about somebody's child, you can't tell them how to react. Mm-hmm. That's my thing is, like, Nicki Minaj, you whack right now. I've said on previous practice episodes that you whack. You still fine, but you whack. And you still doing whack stuff. You don't want to stop doing whack stuff.
You don't think Cardi was wrong at all?
No.
Okay. Why not?
Because I felt like she kept the same energy. And all these people backlashing, y'all loved her for that ghetto stuff. Now, whether it was, let me say this.
And that's why I'm speaking on me.
That was wrong.
Right.
What she did in that atmosphere, that wasn't the time and place. But y'all loved this little ghetto-ness when it was cute. But now that she's blown up, y'all want to take it away from it. Y'all don't, like, people don't understand that Nicki Minaj came from a performing arts school. Like, she's really not, like, about that. Like, Cardi B is an ex-stripper. Like, she really got it from the mud. And how y'all think, like, that's going to change overnight?
I just feel like when you say that people ain't about that, all I know is when you get money, you get influence, and you get people around you who can make stuff happen. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't think that in this situation, I feel like the comments, you got to be careful with what you say, because once you put that out there, it's out there. Just like we talked about with this podcast. Once you put it out there, it's out there.
And not even if something happens to Cardi B, you're the one who's in the limelight for doing it. It's also okay. Maybe something's gonna happen to you now for saying it as well. Right. So not only you got to worry about
if something does happen to Cardi B, like who are they gonna look at?
That's gonna be suspect number one.
Exactly.
You know
but fuck that. I ain't gonna keep dwelling on that or put too much emphasis on that shit. But we saw that Drake and Meek Mill officially squashed their beef Saturday night. The two rappers appeared on stage together, performing in Meek Mill's Dreams Tonight, man. During it was in the Boston leg of the tour. Well, basically, Drake and Meek Mill decided to sit down and squash their beef, all their little issues and their problems that they had. They decided to put that aside for maybe business purposes or what. Did anybody have a chance to, catch that? Y'all rocking with that? Y'all feeling that? What's the deal with them?
I think it's cool. I think it's good for hip hop. I do.
Why you think it's good for hip hop?
Because, I mean, I feel like you can make more money together than you can versus each other.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
with you on that.
You splitting. You making people pick sides when you go into that beef shit. And I feel the same way about the female we were talking about just a second ago. I feel I don't want to
You
say
don't
her
wanna say
name
Why
anymore.
not? Say it.
Because I'm tired of talking about her.
You talking about her.
Hey,
Simply
she done definitely been in the last about 4-5 episodes.
Right.
Like,
Like,
I mean, god damn, can we talk about something?
Right.
I feel them though, straight up.
I mean, them coming to Kumbaya was cool and all. But you know what? That goes back to the same story because it was over Nicki. Like Drake was in his feelings.
Well,
with
no,
these-
it was over Rico.
wasn't about
It was over Rico.
He got
It-
mad. The man didn't
No, it was over
post
Rico.
his album on Instagram.
Well,
and then
it
said he
started with
write
the
his
Rico.
lyric
Both
or
them
whatever.
niggas
Rico song.
sensitive. Like as hard as y'all want to make Meek Mill sing, he's sensitive too.
I'm not.
I mean,
Dang, I ain't
but
saying
most
that,
niggas in that shit, like, I mean, shit, when you do anything and you on a platform and you got, like, I don't care if it's
Influential
football,
peers.
I don't care if it's rapping, whatever it is. Like, if you in the forefront, anytime somebody say something, you kind of sensitive about what it is you do. You competitive, so you already think that you the best. At
You're
whatever
about
it
to
is
you're about to get to find out when them comments start going.
right. You know
I
what
don't
I'm saying?
care about them comments.
You
know?
say that now. You say that now. When
Man, I
you see
feel
He
it.
gonna be on there responding to every last shut up, die, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? He gonna be right
I
there
too.
responding
I'm
to
gonna be
every
I too
last one of
think.
them.
I'm gonna be that nigga.
He gonna be Twitter thug, Instagram
I-
thug. Yeah, he gonna be responding.
Mess around the comment. Okay.
But yeah, but shouts out to Drake and Meek Mill, man, squashing the beef, man. We got enough beef in our communities already as is.
Right.
Ain't nothing like two black men putting their heads together, putting their power together. I mean, it's easy to beef, ain't it? It's hard to, like, let's put our heads together and figure out how we can help each other community,
But that should
make
be
money
easy for
together and
Right.
grow it. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
easy to beef. You know what I mean? So shouts out to them. We saw in news that Apple dropped some new products today.
Apple not getting no more my motherfucking
Yeah,
money.
I mean, Apple to me not.
Everybody say that. You remember back in the
Yeah.
day when the
Well,
Jordans
pretty much.
came out and everybody's like, man, them ugly.
I-
We ain't getting them.
I eventually stopped though.
Nigga, the
right in
first
line.
day be right in line.
Man,
And that's gonna be the same thing y'all niggas
To
do
me,
with Apple.
Apple like that abusive ass relationship, man. You goddamn, a nigga go cross your head. You be like, man, I'm through with them. You know what I'm saying? You be right back over there buying that new shit. They got a way of, like, making you like you have to go get their shit regardless.
How many billions it is now?
I don't know, man. A lot of them.
I want to say like 3 billion. They shipped their 3 billion Apple
Well,
product.
they say they will ship their 3 billion.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But
3
it's
billion
time for me
times
to upgrade
3 billion
anyway.
times 100. Goddamn.
Yeah,
Think about
me
that.
too.
Apple
Me too,
not
Joe.
playing.
Yeah, it's time for me to upgrade. So I'm gonna get that 10x plus max squared second, whatever the fuck they just called it.
That bitch got
But I'm
too many
getting that one.
goddamn.
It'd be
It's
like
kinda-
$1,100.
I still feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at what point is it gonna be something different that they do though? Like, it's been the same base
Yeah.
for the long. Now they good at what they do. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the same old
I'm
shit.
pretty sure it's a few people in here. I'm pretty sure about what 80% of us probably got some kind of an Apple product at some point.
Oh yeah, because I mean you got to, but like I think y'all both got the 10x. So I mean it's not a big difference for y'all.
It's just an X. It's just an X. Don't say the 10X.
I mean okay, yeah, both of y'all got the 10. So it's not that big of a difference for y'all, but for me, nah, that's a big totally different.
Moving on, we see that LeBron James, man, and KD. I guess they took their talents to the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They
Bron
shouldn't
took
have.
his talents to South Beach.
Shouldn't have.
Time he decided to take
I
his
wouldn't
talents
say
to the
talent.
studio.
They took their voice to the studio. I wouldn't say talent.
Well, they are talented and went to the studio. So they took their talents to the studio, and they dropped a song called "It Is Not Easy."
To
It
rap.
ain't
It should
easy.
be to rap.
It ain't easy. Whatever it is.
It
Whatever it
ain't
was,
easy.
it clearly we saw that it wasn't easy
Hell
because that shit is trash, okay?
Very.
I'm just finna go on and tell the truth. Bron and KD, we love y'all, man. Y'all are some great fucking basketball players. But leave the rap to the rappers because it was trash.
Cue
Anybody
the
else?
crash effects, and I think we want to say which one was worse, but I think they're
They was-
equally bad.
I mean, KD,
I like KD. I like KD though.
KD kinda
KD
was
did.
spitting,
Yeah, KD
but
was. alright.
LeBron was just talking about his life, man.
I stopped-
grew up in a single parent house.
KD sound like
Yo,
Papa
get
Doc
your-
from 8 Mile. And I don't know who LeBron sound like. He sound like
LeBron
somebody
sound like
uncle.
himself talking with a
Sound-
beat in the background.
Sound like
That's
my
true,
uncle
he
who was a DJ. Goddamn, it is trash.
And I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't care if I ever hear them niggas rap again. That was pretty damn trash.
Very, 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 very. I'll listen to KD a little bit though, but
Hey,
Bron
man.
has no shot.
Why you keep doing your family like that though?
I mean, I can only tell the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? He was a good DJ, but nigga
Man, nah, they done went down the whole line.
that
Like,
nigga threw his uncle
man.
under the bus. Hey man, you fat shamed your goddamn daddy. And you
No.
Yeah,
You don't want to talk about
oh
it.
no,
Nigga done put his
say
mama
what
out.
he did. Don't say what I
He done
did.
put his mama out there.
That's a little bit different.
Nah, you put your mama out
Explain,
there.
no,
Yeah.
that- Explain.
That's a lot different.
Explain. And you the worst because you put your mama
Your
out.
mama.
Your mama?
Hey, shit.
Not
Good,
your
good thing she
mama.
retired, goddamn.
Not the mama.
Hey, man, fuck that. The shit happens, goddamn it. Shit, moving on, man. Where we at? Bobby Brown story. I know, everybody by now should have had a chance to watch it, man. We saw in the part 2 of the Bobby Brown story again. Everybody had a chance to watch it. We just wanted to go back, man. My man, and I know when I talk to a lot of different people, a lot of people didn't know half the shit that had happened to Bobby Brown. I felt like my man had somebody die every other week.
I damn sure didn't.
That shit.
At least every 2 commercial breaks would be.
So I have a question. I have a question about that. When it first came on and he went to a funeral, his grandmother's funeral, was that the exact same day his friend got stabbed in the heart? If all of that shit happens in one day, that's crazy. That's a crazy ass life.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The
But
date
the
or
story
time.
made it seem.
I don't know
like
the date
same
of the timeline, but what I'm gonna say is, any man who could withstand, a wife that you was married to, I think, excuse me, don't quote me to this, but 15, 16, 17 years, as well as lose his daughter, lose his dad, lose all of that shit, that much back to back to back, man, that's tough, man. That's a difficult situation to be in.
Man, listen. Like he said, it was like after every commercial, somebody was falling off on that bitch.
Yeah.
He just had a rough life, B.
Yeah.
Like all together.
Hey man, I just hate to see like what Whitney Houston did to this great artist.
I got a question.
Like he
about
was
that.
on his way.
Well,
I got,
Like, I just hate
Was
how
he on
Whitney-
his way or was he already there?
Well, she brought him down. He was there, and then like you got to be
I-
careful.
I say, to me, I ain't gonna say that she brought him down, and I'm not gonna say he brought her down. I think that they was equally toxic.
Right.
And I'm glad that you said that. Great. I'm glad that you said that because stepping right there. Let's stay on that for just a second. I mean, everybody that you meet in relationship. This is just my personal opinion, guys. You can kill me in the comments for my personal opinion, but I feel like you may date multiple people, you may meet multiple people in your life, but everybody is not that necessarily that one. So
Right.
in this situation with Bobby and Whitney, they had a nice marriage and everything, but we saw that like they was very toxic for each
Man,
other.
each
And,
other,
to me, I think both of them equally hurt each other's career.
so what you saying that I also it's called the Bobby Brown story. So I'm glad you
Right.
said it that way too. So you think it's from the way of Bobby, but if it was from the view of Whitney,
Well,
where Bobby be,
I would tell you.
as
I think-
toxic?
I would tell you because it is a Whitney Houston story, and it's portrayed
the exact same.
1,000% different.
and
Yeah.
Bobby was bad.
Just
guy?
for comical reasons, I'm gonna go with Bobby.
Okay.
But even the new edition store had Bobby looking a little crazy in the new edition store.
But
The
I
one
don't
that
mind.
they-
I don't mind the crazy that was in the new edition story. I think it's still true and within his story. Like he never wanted to be a fifth of somebody, a fifth of a group.
So was it just that, or was it the drugs and the not showing?
I mean,
up?
I think the new edition part was him was like just wilding. Cause don't get me wrong, the man was just crazy and wild.
I just think with too when you're in a group, sometimes and you are an artist who like you want to do something different. Like sometimes like you handicapped by what the group wants to do. You can't
Right.
just
Yeah, you
do
gotta-
what you want to
you
do.
gotta go with it.
So sometimes when you're able to get outside of a group and be yourself, you can make the exact choices that you've been wanting to make for forever. And sometimes those can pan out to be great. Sometimes those can pan out to
Trash.
be trash.
Right.
But I just think sometimes that the group shit we learn, like in life, like, you can't stick. We're all individuals. So at some point you're gonna have to stand on your own 10, you know what I mean, and be who you are. Like you can't hide behind a group forever.
Nigga, you
But
trying
just
to go? You trying to go solo already, nigga?
What you mean?
God damn, this episode 1.
Nigga trying to go
You talking about what you want to do.
Nigga trying to go
You tuning in to Stock and the Dummies, goddamn. Hell yeah. Me and Dad's taking this show on the road, baby.
I ain't even gonna lie. I can't wait to switch up on y'all too. But
Well, we know you'll do it.
I ain't
Oh, yeah.
changing, nigga. I don't care what happens. I ain't changing.
You say that
Hey
now.
man, but like if
say
that
that shit
story,
now.
if that story is true, cause I'm just from personal experience, like I was nervous on my wedding day. Like, not that too much was gonna change. It was just the fact. I think both of y'all can attest to this. I mean,
I was quick. Like, I went in and out. Goddamn,
well, you just a no feeling
like,
Neanderthal.
listen. Let me tell you. I called my best man and said, "Hey, come on, let's go. We going to the courthouse." He called me back. Oh, never mind. I'm already married.
Let me tell you something. I don't even know how the fuck we got here. But let me tell you something. My man told me, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a good friend or whatever. My man said, hey, man, I'm driving to work, man. This wasn't even part of the plan. Hey, I think I'm finna get married today. Today? Okay, man, why I need to come? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck work. Why I need to come? I'm coming. I'm going to be there, bro.
Right.
He was like, oh, we at such and such. I hit a U-turn. I'm telling you, by the time I got 2 lights down, hit the U-turn, my man said, oh, don't worry about it. I'm married now. The hell kind of story is this?
8 minutes and $50.
Yeah.
8 minutes, $50.
You can still see the picture of it. If y'all want to see, I might even post it. My man.
No, you can't. You cannot see it.
I got the
You
picture.
can't see it.
My man had the 9X tall T button down with the big ass khakis on. You know the khakis with the cuff. You knew if you see khakis with the cuff, you know them hoes.
And them
too
bitches be
big.
bundled up right there, goddamn. That big bundle.
That nigga
right
had
there.
that thug interview special.
My man had the braided belt.
Hanging down. It wasn't hanging down, was
I think it was an extra hole. Had to be
Had
poked.
a braided belt. Hey, but yeah, shots out. He did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? My man knew what he wanted to do.
But I'm sorry,
What's hard? On your wedding day, was you nervous?
Hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
I say this, man. You know what I'm saying? We had a first look, but like if I went into her room and she snorting the line,
I'm out of there.
that's my reason. Hey Lord, you sent me that sign.
It's tough.
It's time to go.
It was tough, man. You know what I'm saying? But shouts out to Bobby Brown because after all of that, my man, he endured. He persevered. My man still standing tall. He's still, making money. He's still, I mean, shit, we was watching the Bobby Brown story. And for that time, it had the world captivated. It had us captivated watching, the different things that, he went through and, to see his story and see those things that he went through for any man to still be standing and keep his sanity. Tough. And, after losing a daughter, losing a wife, you lose your mama, you lose all these different people back to back to back, and my man still standing tall. Says something about the person. So shouts out to Bobby Brown.
I'm not buying none of his vegetables, though. He look like he don't know what to do with it. He got like a vegetable company or some shit. That making bread, but I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying
Pretty sure he got some money.
Well, we said all the time, you got to
Everybody
look like
tell
what you're trying to sell me.
Yeah,
Right? I can't listen to no trainer that's 350, goddamn.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, ain't shit you can train me on.
But how y'all feel about BET at the last minute cutting out the Janet Jackson hotel room scene?
There's a reason for it. I mean, we know the story.
I think it's because
I would have loved to see it.
I saw them. Well, it was.
Well,
another
he
one,
kicked
like,
the ass out.
no. In real life, he
kicked
kicked out because Bobby was like, "Hey, be with me, like for real."
Right.
And she was like, "I can't bring a black man home. My daddy wouldn't allow it."
Oh, okay. So
And he kicked her out naked.
It felt bad.
And then felt bad, said, "This is Janet Jackson," and then threw out a blanket. Still kicked her out.
wait.
But just gave her a blanket to cover up.
I think I saw that. I didn't.
No,
see
you
the
didn't
part
see
where
that.
She said
You probably heard
black
it.
man. I didn't. I heard him say that to her.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't-
did say, "Is it because I'm black?"
Yeah,
right.
He said it.
But in the actual story, like in real life, he says that she said that I can't bring a black man home. My daddy wouldn't allow
okay,
it.
Okay.
Then he physically kicked her out and then just gave her a blanket to cover up. And I think BET cut that out because I think Black Girls Rock, she's a part of it.
Okay.
I think coming up in a couple of
Gotta
weeks.
protect you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect your own
You gotta
brand.
protect the
Right.
brand. Hey,
Yeah.
business is business. I tell people
Right.
that all the time, man. When it comes to a business move, man, hey,
Yeah.
you got to make the best decision that's best for your brand
Right.
and for your business. And
Right.
if somebody stepped in and had to, call that play for Janet, then they did what they had to do.
Right, and it's a Bobby Brown story, but it's on BET, nigga. Don't forget.
No, hey, don't get
forget
that shit
that,
twisted.
man.
Not one bit, goddammit. Moving on, man. We saw the Auburn Tigers, man. This story is a little bit old, but we saw some different developments. We had a different little time to sit on it. Shouts out to Auburn. Shouts out to Alabama State University. Alabama State, for those who don't know, is a traditionally black institution. it was a place that blacks could go when whites didn't allow us into their universities. It was a place that gave us a platform to be able to get the education that we were lacking or that we weren't allowed to have going into some of these PWIs, predominantly white institutions. We saw that Alabama State lined up to play Auburn. Auburn is in Alabama. Football. And there were several different signs hanging outside the white fraternities frat house. One of the signs said that ASU graduation rate was 27% and their chances of winning was 0%. They also had a second sign that said GED is greater than a ASU, which is Alabama State University, degree. And it caused a lot of backlash. A lot of people felt like from both, let's be clear, it was from both Auburn and Alabama State's black alumni. It caused a lot of controversy, basically saying that at best it was tasteless, and at worst it was racist. So did y'all get a chance to read that story or dive into it? And we've sat on it a little while and we've been able to digest it. What are y'all feeling? What do y'all think about this? Because I have an opinion too.
I'm going to be honest. I have absolutely no problem with it. And I'm going to tell you why. I just want to quote a couple of signs. This is Alabama LSU rivalry.
I was gonna go there.
Finish what Katrina started.
Yeah.
Another one with this is Ole Miss in Alabama. Saban mom was on Freeze's phone records. You know, it was
The prostitutes.
Had prostitutes saying that Saban's mother is a prostitute. Another one is talking about the rape case that Vanderbilt had with Western Kentucky. Another one is last time we lost, Matt Tatel's girlfriend was real.
I remember that.
That's Florida State, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Like, man, if you want to be treated equal, I think that's the epitome of being treated equal. Because they're treating you like they treat their PWI counterparts. They get the worst of the worst, and they say what they can say about it. One thing is, hey, if you don't want to be treated equal, don't take that $500,000 check that they gave you. If you don't want to be treated as equal, if you want to have the kitty gloves on you. So,
somebody did their homework, didn't
they? I mean,
my man came with all kind of signs.
My man had 100 facts. That nigga got sites and what you got? He got resources and everything.
I just didn't agree with it. And then one thing, it was like an op-ed piece that I seen on AL.com where Alabama State said, do your research. But on the research, they never disputed that their graduation rate wasn't 27%.
They never did. They just was mad about the picture.
They were just saying, okay, well, HBCUs give other people opportunities that are not allowed or they might not be able to go to college. Yes, that's cool.
And I just say this from a personal standpoint. As far as how I feel like there's a lot of different I think it just got a lot to do with the times that we in. Like we've talked about week after week. I think everything is a little hypersensitive. And when it's black and white like this, it was a predominantly black college playing a predominantly white institution.
They wanted it to be
right. It's gonna end up being a black and white. I just feel like, and y'all can kill me as much as y'all want, I'm still gonna stand on how I stand. I played college football. I played Division I football for a predominantly white institution.
Heard a lot worse.
And I heard a lot of stuff while I went there, and it came from PWI to PWI,
to a white
just
man,
like my
too.
man just
Coach
gave
Bo.
y'all examples. And I think sometimes that, like, when you come from, you know, some of the black schools, maybe you didn't realize that this goes on or that this happens at these particular games. But I'll never forget, and this is a direct personal story.
Is it Coach Bo?
I can't remember where we was at. I just know that it was either Tennessee Volunteers, or I want to say Houston. But I never forget, I had just had my daughter. And I could go back and look at it. But I had just had my daughter, and then in that, you had to have a interview with whoever. I think we was on TV that week, so you had an interview with the analyst. And they interviewed you, told you your story and all that. And they put that stuff out there for people to know, like, it's public record. They know what's coming ahead of time. And I never forget, the student section was right behind our bench. And, like, part of the student section, they drunk, they ready to come and have fun and say whatever they can say to get under your skin to make you not focus for the game. And I never forget, they was like, hey, you, 41, we got a real secret to tell you. And I'm like, the fuck these niggas talking about? They was like, hey, you know your daughter? You think it's yours, but it's really his. And it was this dude like that, and they had a sign that had my daughter's name and everything on it, and they was saying like shit. They basically was saying like, yeah, that's his kid. So I just say that to say like they get personal, they say crazy stuff. I'm never gonna excuse anything that's racist, but I will say from me being in a platform that was there and that actually seen that stuff before, that wasn't uncommon. Regardless, even when it was PWI to PWI. That's just my take on it.
Right, and I feel the same way. And I actually attend that university right now. You know what I'm saying?
You look like you was outraged about it.
Right.
Well,
Don't change, man.
No,
But
that's what I'm
also
saying. He said everything I said.
You started undergrad there too.
Right, I started out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I had a feeling about it. It's one of those things where if it's true, shit, what the fuck can you say? You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that you can't say.
You can't say anything about it, but at the same time, you don't want to hear it. It's almost like,
What you mean? You gotta hear it. Fuck that. You need to hear it in order to change it.
That's what I'm saying. Like no one wants to hear the bad shit that they're doing. You see what I'm saying?
Good
Like
that it was told.
right. You always want to have that light shining on you as in the perfect light. Like you ain't gonna post your ugly shit on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
And
you
I-
ain't gonna. You know what I'm saying? Everything
That's
you
the thing
post
about social media. Yeah, it's your highlights.
right. It's your highlight.
We should
You know
start
what I'm saying?
posting the
That's
ugly
not a
shit.
highlight reel.
Hell
That's
no.
a
ugly shit.
eyesore.
Well, you can't help it.
I want
but-
these people to know. Oh, I want these people to know I'm living my best life.
I feel
But-
you. Oh,
I hear
But-
you, little Duval.
But one thing I will say, one thing I was kind of taken back or offended by, like, why did people think that it's racial because they pointed out a low graduation rate?
I don't.
Well, I
Like,
told you.
why is that considered
because
a
they're-
black thing?
Because they're saying it that because you go to this black school, that's why it's that low.
But
at
every
least that's
school
how.
isn't like that. They
But
said
listen,
this particular school.
I know.
Like every HBCU doesn't have a low graduation rate.
Right, and I think they would have said that about Hampton and
And-
about Southern.
No,
and
because
about
their graduation
Grambling.
rate would have been higher.
Well, no,
But that's
no,
not
no.
what. That's not. I'm not saying the
Oh, okay,
numbers.
okay,
I'm not
okay.
saying numbers. I'm
No,
saying
I-
that they're saying okay, a GED is better than Southern.
I just think
diploma.
that-
Or-
Now, I didn't agree. I mean,
I
that
don't-
was the worst one to me.
I don't agree, but it's just a joke.
I
Yeah,
just-
it's just a joke.
I just think that, like what I said, that whether it was Hampton, whether it was Alabama, whether it was Auburn, Vanderbilt, UAB, you pick a damn school,
They're
they're
gonna
going to find the worst stuff about your school. They're going to find the worst stuff about your institution, whether it's an allegation or whatever it is, and they're going to exploit it. That's what they do.
Question: are those numbers true? Do we know the 37%?
27.
It's 27.
It's
But
27%.
it's true?
That was
That's
it was in
what-
2006. I mean
what-
2016.
What I saw in
They need to
2016
be-
it
I
was
looked-
27%.
They need to be making fun of that shit, man. They need to hear that. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
But,
at the same time, man.
Why is
classic
nobody looking
time-
at Alabama State saying, "Hey, man, why?
Fix it.
Why
you
is
need
your
to fix it.
why
It's
is
a
your-"
college. You
Because
need to
you're
fix it.
basically you're taking money from these kids. Like you're messing these kids up. If a fourth of the people that go to your school graduate, but
What's the net?
100% is left with loans, or
I can't say that because
can't
I,
put that
like,
on the school,
Let
man.
me make sure I just say that numbers sometimes can be skewed. I don't know the details behind the numbers. I don't know nothing. I will say, and don't get me wrong, that if I saw something that said a 27% graduation rate at face value, that is low. That's not a great number. But I will also say that, I would have to look at the details of what that number is. I'm not going to just sit there and attack Alabama
I
State
agree. I
for
agree.
that number because I don't know all the details. But all I'm going to speak on, and I don't want to get into the details. I don't want to get all into the weeds. I just want people to know that I came from a black high school, and I went to a PWI because of my football talents. And I want to say that at PWIs and doing what I was doing, I saw those same signs or those same lines about me
white people.
from white people talking about another white school. So I just feel like they always find a way to exploit the worst in whatever school that they're playing. They're gonna find it, and they always do it.
Right.
Whether it's true or not, whether it's a stretch of the truth or not, they do that shit regardless.
Right. And I have something. I'm glad you said that because I thought you was going somewhere else. It's not even always about signs that help you realize that that's what's happening. Sometimes it's the words as well. Like he was saying with his story, he had a sign and some words. But one of the worst stories I remember is we was playing somewhere, I don't know, but it was his coach, Coach Boat. We had a linebacker coach who was about 450 pounds. He was a big boy. I love Kobo. Kobo get in your ass, goddamn, and he'll be cool with you.
Wayne
What's
Boat.
up? He'll be like, "What's up, cuz?" You know what I'm saying? But they tortured my man because he was a big man. Hey, fat boy, you want a fucking burger?
Yep.
Shit like
Yeah.
that, man. Like,
I mean, I understand
I remember that
because
game. We played Baylor.
Yeah.
We went to Texas and played Baylor. Wayne Boat, that's his name, Coach Boat. He was like 400 and nifty pound, maybe even 500 pounds.
Mhm.
But you had to walk. Again, the student section was sitting right behind our bench, and they used to call, "Hey, fat boy." Hey, we had to go in the tunnel for halftime, and then when you came back out, they had a big box of They had a box of pizza when we went in for halftime. They was like, "Hey, you want some, fat boy? I know you're hungry." And then we went in. You know what I'm saying? We came back out. They was like, "We saved you some." They had about 2 slices that they had saved for him because they was like, we know you fat. We know you hungry. You need some pizza, man. We want you to eat before you fall out.
But
and that just go to show you, like, that's just shit that they do at those games.
And I understand that because Coach Boat, like, his calves were like different colors.
But the thing about Bo,
like, that's just how fat he was.
the reason why I fuck with Bo even on that is because Bo to fuck around and eat them 2 slices.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you, thank
Give
you,
me
cuz.
Thank you, cuz.
Thank you,
And
cuz.
eat them
Hey, but
and
look, though.
still run cover 2 with 5 wide.
Hey, look.
Yeah, he do what he do. He do what he do.
Well, I ain't getting into all that, but it's a lot to that. But anywho,
We talked. I said we talked about that before. Sometimes it's the head man cutting the game plan down from there to there. Remember, we gave them.
Yeah.
Don't
I mean,
blame
it was
Bo,
more of a
man.
joke than, like, logistics. Because y'all have told me, like, why that was how it was. And, yeah, you can fall on either side.
all right. And sticking in with stuff that, we talked about Alabama State. We talked about Auburn and Alabama State. We talked about the undertones of racism, whether it's racist or not, whatever side you lie on. Everybody has an own opinion. And that's one thing that I want us to start doing as people. Like, let's engage. Let's have conversations and let's let people have their opinions. But you have your opinion and allow people to, express themselves. Like, we get so mad and we get so messed up with people having opinions, but some things are tasteless and some things are racist. Let's call it what it is. Let's not mix the lines, but let's also have intelligent conversations sometimes, man, with opposite sides or opposite views.
I'm gonna have to try that. Like, I'm gonna make that my duty to find a white person that I can just talk to and see, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
What they view,
I've done that, and there are a lot of good white folks out here. Let's not say
Yeah, I agree.
But sometimes things are just funny. Like, let stuff just be funny. Everything doesn't have to be racist.
Agreed.
Like, because it's black and white, let some stuff just be funny.
Race jokes be the funniest
But
jokes.
even then, when you get away from black and white, man, we have seen now, like I said,
everything.
everything is hypersensitive.
It's everything. Not
So
even
if you're
that.
talking about women, if you're talking about dogs or pets, like right now we live in a world that everything is so simple. Like, comedy can't even be comedy no more.
No,
Yeah,
comedy
that's
is
crazy.
trash, right? Well, it's not trash. I think it's
They made it that way, and they making it that
well,
way.
it's not good because they're giving everybody a shot right now. But if Auburn was playing Alabama and their graduation rate was 27%,
You're gonna have the same
they're going to have
time.
the same joke. So it's not racist. Not because you're black. It's because your graduation rate is 27%.
We know that.
And if you don't want people to talk about your graduation rate being 27%, don't let your graduation rate be 27%.
That nigga ran out of breath, did it?
nigga, what the fuck?
That nigga ran out of all the breath. Take a breath, bro.
It's okay. We get it. You said,
Woosah.
hey guys,
Woosah.
he's trying to say
Again,
it's just a joke.
I closed that out, but my man dived right back up under it. I just said that, have your opinion, state what you say, you know what I mean? But yeah, we just feel how we feel, and you're entitled the way you feel. We saw that this week, like, diving into, black and white. Is it racist? Is it not racist? We saw that Australian newspaper reprints a Serena Williams cartoon. This is diving back into a couple weeks ago when Serena, had a difference of opinion with the umpire. She felt like that the umpire called something that she wouldn't call on a man on a normal situation. And she basically, got into a situation where she felt like that the umpire was wrong. And then the Australian cartoon, painted her in a depiction of her being, muscular, being black, being a crybaby. Did anybody get a chance to see that?
Racist.
Nah, come on. I looked at it, and the reason why I will say it's not racist is for the simple fact that he keeps the same energy. We always say keep the same energy. Look at that.
You could be a continuous racist.
But are you really racist if you're talking about everybody the same way?
It was the way they depicted her. I mean, like, look. I mean,
I don't agree with the picture.
The big
I
lips
don't-
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't-
talking
kind of
about
stuff.
the picture.
Right.
I mean, it's a cartoon picture. Like it's
No,
like I look at my picture when I got drawn in Atlanta. I look like a fucking character.
Right. And I'm not
But
again.
you don't look like some animal with
but-
like
look like a
a
character.
tail or
Again, I'm not taking a side. I'm just simply saying, for you just went back on a store and you gave us like 6 or 7 examples of where Auburn had did this,
It's
or
just
where
jokes.
where different college stores have done this before. If you go look at that artist, he has pictures of Trump and Kim Jong Il. He got Kim Jong Un, whatever his name is, the leader from North Korea.
Dummy.
If you just look at his tabloids, he has plenty of satire that is different from just Serena. He has a numerous of different pictures that show white on white, that show all different kind of stores. So I'm just throwing that out there, and I want that to be on record. I'm not offering an opinion just yet. I'm just saying that he has that.
Okay. He also
if you're comparing, hang on.
Go ahead.
I just want to say what
Go ahead.
you know, saying what you say you're not being objective, or whatever. But if you're comparing the worst 2 people in the world compared to,
He's not
I
comparing.
use that as an example.
no, but those were the examples. Comparing Serena Williams to arguing over a call, no, that's not the same.
Okay.
Kim Jong-il and Donald Trump are terrible people. This girl is playing a sports event and
That's just what's on
and
there, man.
didn't
He
agree
has
with a call.
Go look. He's a cartoonist, so go look him up. He has damn near everybody, man. He draws them all. But I was saying all of that to say because I had a little joke. He also drew Todd. Look at that picture at the very top left. Look at that nigga with them ears. I think it's the crazy nigga.
Is that Ross Perot?
That's Todd.
That is Todd.
That's Todd, nigga.
Nigga so crazy. TLWD. But yeah, I mean, I just look at it and I mean, I think what happened with Serena, I just feel like I'm not a woman. And I did see other legends, tennis legends come out and speak on behalf of Serena Williams, basically saying that she was in the right, and that this is something that is a difference between the man's sport and the woman's sport. I don't want to put myself in a woman's shoes and say that that she wasn't right about what she was arguing. I feel like she felt like a call was wrong, and if a call is wrong, we see it every sport. Todd said today when he was watching the not today but the other day when he was watching the WNBA
finals.
championship,
Right.
and he said that the men whine more than the women.
Right.
So we do see what men argue calls. I saw a clip where men were breaking tennis rackets and they was doing all different kind of stuff, and they was standing up for what they felt was a wrongdoing. So I'm not gonna sit here and be in a position to say that Serena was wrong for what she was doing. I just don't know enough to even dive in or say that she was wrong, but I'm a believer. If she said that it's wrong and it's skewed, Serena Williams has earned the right to stand on her platform. She's
Right.
the greatest, one of the greatest ever to do the sport that she's playing. I feel like if she says it, then we have a right to listen to her.
Right. I just feel like she's a superstar. And yeah, it is an equal with that. Now, I do have mixed feelings because I think that she maybe went too far in her argument, too long, because, women just talk too long anyway. But she was right. I mean, she was like, if I was a man, like, you wouldn't have penalized me for this. And that's the part I didn't agree with. But this cartoon thing, also, I think that's why she gets the grief that she gets, because she is a more physical, dominating person than the people.
Is that
she's
her
playing.
fault, though?
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm just asking.
I'm just saying objective-wise, because they always think we're super Negroes. So that's just how they look at us. So, but like, if you're physically more dominating, they're going to look at you as like, you shouldn't be as soft, or I shouldn't take you the same way, which is wrong. You should keep the same energy. But she's facing these little bitty white girls, and she is more physically dominating than them. She has the muscles. She has the physique of a more dominating person, but you should still take her
So
as
is
the same.
Brian. Yeah, right. And I feel you should take them as the same. I just feel like with all of that, again, if Serena is saying that there's a problem, I don't. She has earned the credibility with me personally as one of the dominant faces of tennis to be able to voice her opinion. She won't just come out and say something's unfair if it's not unfair. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like, people in that position can be wrong. But I just feel like she wouldn't come out and say what she's saying if she didn't feel like it was unfair.
See, and the thing here that's messed up is they're making fun of something that she's passionate about. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if she's passionate about her sport, that's why you know her. She's a champion. She's a champion tennis player. Like, she arguably the best female tennis player ever to play the game, right? So if she wants to argue that call, she feel like, like he said.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel y'all, but I don't even want to really get into all that because it was simply about the picture being racist, and I don't think it's racist because he's a cartoonist and he does it for this person, that person, that person. Simply put, I don't think it's racist.
I didn't say either or, but
what do you think about it though? You think it's racist or not? The picture?
I don't know. I can't really say because, like you said before, he's a cartoonist. So I didn't take a position. I've seen other cartoons that he's depicted just like this, and like my man said, Can't Get Right said, you know what I mean? Like, with the Alabama State and the Auburn sign, like, they would do that with whoever's coming in here.
Right.
So whatever issue is going on, maybe he paints that like that. I'm not going to say that it wasn't racist either, though. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm just kind of in the middle. Like, y'all can, beat me up for not having an opinion either way.
Nigga, pick a side.
But no, I don't have to. He picked the side. The man that picked the side talked to him. He said that it was racist.
That's why I ain't got to talk
All
to
right,
him.
so ask him.
Todd, you pick a side? Todd?
I stand where I stand.
I know.
No, yeah.
Nah, I told you I felt the same way he felt. The same way with the Alabama State thing. Like, Joe hit on some points. You just don't like the way he said it. So I feel the same way Stock feels.
I think he used.
She just doesn't.
I think he used racist undertones. That's what I didn't like.
Okay.
I think he kind of portrayed her as a baboon.
But is he
which
racist?
we've been portrayed many times before,
But
and it was clearly racist.
So
But
can I ask you-
is it
So
racist
if you use racist undertones, then
Can I ask you? Can I ask you a question? I'm go ahead. Hoop.
is it racist if he does each and every one of them that same way?
no, it's not. But when he depicts Donald Trump, is he using a stereotypical?
He using an asshole.
Stereotypical.
Nigga said stereotypical guy.
A stereotypical like white like racist thing, which I don't even know if it is. But like a black person being a baboon or a monkey, that's a stereotypical racist thing.
I'll say that he makes Donald Trump look stupid. He makes Serena look stupid. He
Yes,
makes Kim
making
Jong-un
that-
look
yes.
stupid.
Making Donald Trump
And
look stupid.
racist, yeah, a rich white man with his nose turned up looks racist. Yes, okay.
But okay, so it's kind of like if it was a Chinese person and you make them have like very slanted eyes or short or something like something that's stereotypical.
He does. His eyes not even open.
No, but that's not a stereotypical thing of white people.
I just have a question.
Okay.
And I mean, again, this is not me taking an opinion on a side. I'm just trying to understand where I'm at. But, like, if you say that about the man who drew the pictures, right?
Yeah.
And you can take a position on that. But then Hootie pointed out different instances where he's done this several different times.
And you say, no,
with
that
white-
ain't it.
Hold on. With white on white people or with, Japanese, whatever it is, he's done this a lot of times. And then with the Alabama State thing, you gave us 100 examples of where, different PWIs do the same thing. How can you call one racist and one not? Like, shouldn't you be saying that the
Same
thing that they
energy.
did? I'm just asking.
Yeah,
Shouldn't you
yeah,
be
yeah.
saying that the thing that they did at Alabama State, shouldn't you be saying that that's racist then?
I'm saying that this is racist because he's portraying her as what people in the past
That's
has
what Auburn's
portrayed
doing.
as black people.
Auburn's
no,
doing the same thing.
No,
They're
no.
portraying black people to be dumb.
No,
And that-
they're saying that this one school graduation is rape. It's
Okay.
low.
Okay.
Which is dumb, but okay.
But they're portraying her like when I see that, I see like a baboon.
I just only wanted you to, clarify.
That's all
and
I'm
you
saying.
did. And you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And I give you that.
you ain't keeping the same energy, my G.
I think it's totally different.
Not
I
keeping
think
the
it's kind of
same
different.
energy.
Portraying a black woman as a baboon is racist. Saying a school graduation rate is what it is, it's not racist.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that he's doing that to Kim Jong-un as well. Yes, okay, the Serena pitch is racist. I'm also saying that the Kim Jong-un picture is racist. The Donald Trump picture is racist. So I'm saying if I say that about every last person and I'm simply saying it, am I really racist?
Why is the
Or am
Donald
I-
Trump thing racist?
He looks like a rich white man who has his nose turned up who hates black people. That's what I see. I don't know what you see. What you see?
I see a guy with a big nose and stupid.
I don't know. I mean, that's to be determined. We can go back and forth about that all day. But it is what it is. He depicted a picture. I wouldn't have done the picture per se. I don't want to keep calling everything racist. You know what I mean?
It's too
but
sensitive.
you know what I'm saying? Like everything is not black and white.
Right.
But I will say in this era that we live in, we are kind of digressing, and we are seeing that racism is like a form of what's going on. Like it's the undertone of everything that we keep seeing. I can't really say that somebody who's been doing this multiple times is being racist, but I won't say that he's not, God damn it, because at home he probably doing something. But anywho, moving on, we see that man, shouts out to my boy. This is so long overdue. We see that Lil Wayne is now the sole owner of Young Money Records. That's a standing ovation to me.
Weezy.
Yeah.
Young
You know what I'm
Weezy
saying?
F baby.
After a long, lengthy battle with Cash Money Records, his label home for his entire decade, his entire career.
Yeah.
Every time you ever thought about Lil Wayne, you've thought about Cash Money Records. He's now the proud owner solely. Ain't no 49, 51 split. He's now the sole owner of Young Money Records. We have always said on here, and I know these platforms, we didn't put out some of these practice episodes, but I always felt like Lil Wayne was deserving of having his own label. I felt like he was amongst the greats. He had put in so much work that he deserved to be, like a Jay-Z. Somebody who, can own their own music and be able to put out talents that he sees fit. Because I feel like when Lil Wayne, somebody like a Lil Wayne or somebody like a Jay-Z is able to go find a J. Cole, that's advancing the culture. That's advancing the music. Because these people have spearheaded music for so long that I just feel like, man, it's dope. I'm super happy for Wayne because I feel like he deserves it. He's put his all into this game as long as he's been in it. And now we finally see that his legal battles with Cash Money Records is finally coming out in his favor. Have everybody, dived into it, seen it? What y'all thinking? What y'all looking at?
Yeah.
I'm happy the boy free.
Yeah.
I'm
Freedom.
Free Wayne.
Freedom,
Yeah,
goddamn.
I'm
Home
happy
of the
free.
free, land of the brave.
Yes,
Home of the
really.
free.
Definitely
goddamn.
happy Wayne free. He definitely deserves it. Has put in all the work for it. Yes.
Right. And they also said it was for undisclosed sum. They didn't really release what the sum was. But
We seen
he was
51
able to
million.
also retain his distribution deal with Republic. That's through Universal's brand. As a result, he's also going to be releasing the Carter. What is it? Five.
Yeah,
Carter
in the
5.
fall.
Uh,
Supposed to be in the fall.
and
This is
Wayne
fall, right?
basically said he didn't let the legal drama phase him, and I feel like he did and he didn't. For all the stuff that he was going through with the person he was going through, you know what I'm saying? I can understand how tough that would be. And for an artist who wants to release music, and your sole purpose of even being here in this industry is because you want to release music and you can't. It's something to be said for finally after 3, 4, 5 years being able to finally do that and have control over what it is that you're getting to release. I think it's a win.
Yeah.
Right.
Win.
I agree.
Super
agree.
win.
And I also want to I'm sorry. I don't mean to go back, but I wanted to say fuck Auburn. I know we just talked about it, but LSU just beat them. It was like 22-21. But back to Wayne. Wayne's well deserving of this, man. Like, being from New Orleans, I really do appreciate this. I ain't gonna say appreciate, but I really do think it's a good thing for my man. I think it's long overdue. It's something that should have been happened. And even without it, he's at the top. But even with it, I think he could be even further at the top. You know what I'm saying? So really appreciate that.
I just have a question, and I love Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
In my top 5. Don't get me wrong.
Gotcha.
Don't think he's putting out any more good music, but that's the second point.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think Wayne cares more about his fans or about being paid?
His fans.
His fans, because that's what he always says, his fans. And he's been going through the money issue for a long time.
Matter of fact, he said in his interview with Rolling Stone that the music that the money was great, and he wants his money because that's what's right. But I think somebody like Wayne, man, you've heard from 2 Chainz, you've heard from Ross, you've heard from
It ain't all for nothing.
Mac, man, you've heard from everybody who's ever done anything in music that said that man was working 25, 24, 25. They would even say 25 hours a day on music. That ain't for yourself.
All the money.
That's for your fans, man. That is for a love of the music. We've never seen Wayne transformed how music was done. We've never seen an artist, Jay-Z included, anybody included, we've never seen an artist who dive into the music as deep as Wayne.
Right. And
Okay.
also off of that, I want to say he had to cut it down, but it's still from 24 to 14 or 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
Even now.
So
Yep.
I've heard 2 Chainz say that. I've heard Gucci say that. I think I've heard David Banner.
Ross.
Ross, yes, of course, Ross. That was all
point.
before 2010.
No,
Ross
man.
Yes, it was.
They
Ross
just
had it on
said-
his
no,
leg.
they
Ross
just-
had it on his leg.
All those,
Put-
all
Ross,
them people
we want
said.
facts.
Ross
all them
been
people
going that
said
Birdman for the
before,
longest.
like
He
when
went
I
on his last
first,
album.
did it.
On his
all,
last album, he
all
went
the
that
people
Birdman.
said when I first met Wayne, and they all said his work ethic made me want to work harder.
Right.
Yes, think about when these people first met Wayne, guys.
No.
We talk about
Hold on, let me get some
paper,
clarity.
I mean,
let me get some clarity.
duffel
What-
bag
what,
boys.
what are you trying to say? Tell me what you're trying to say.
I'm
Let me get some
saying
clarity.
that yes, back then Wayne was a workaholic. Yes, he did care more about the art. Now it's all about the money. That's why he has not put out a good project.
Give me one point that makes you say it's all about the money. You
Even
got to
though-
give me something concrete.
Even though
what
he's
you
giving-
can point to that says that it's all about the money.
Even though all of
Okay.
his last few
Okay, you
products,
can. Let's
his
do
last
it.
few products have been free products.
Right, because his last album that he put out was a great album. It sold a lot of records. And then he was not able to put out the Carter 5. So when you
Carter
so-
4. Don't say which album. There's no reason
let's
to
talk about
guess
some
that.
stats real quick.
Carter 4.
Before Wayne was
Wayne is
shelved-
the last
before
guy to
Wayne
sell
was
a
put on the
million in a week.
shelf, Wayne, he was the last one to
a
sell
million
a
in a
million
week.
records.
The
a week.
last person was Lil
He
Wayne.
had 3 #1 albums. He was
Over 17 million
He had
sold.
138 Billboard Hot 100 appearances. All right. He had 17.2 million albums sold in the United States. Not only that, in 2012, he received a $100 million advance, extending his career. He had 4 more albums with Cash Money, which guaranteed him $10 million per album, $8 million up front.
That
It
Birdman
was
never
$2 million
paid.
when he delivered, which also extended to his Young Money ventures. It's
You
a
read
lot
the-
of different
you read
gray
the
area
Billboard-
between what's with Nicki and what's with Drake, but let's give it to Young Money because that's what
That's
was
who it is.
ended up putting on it. He gave us Drake. He gave us Young Money. We hear Drake always big up to Lil Wayne. What are we saying? What are you saying?
I just had 2 questions.
yeah, what
I
do
just
you-
had
No,
2
don't
questions.
give us 2 questions. You keep giving us questions.
With no answers.
We're giving you facts, but you haven't answered nothing. What we're trying to figure out is you said, and you think I forgot,
It's all
but I
about
didn't.
money.
But you said it's all about money, so we need facts of why it's about
Okay,
money.
and I only want to ask y'all.
No, don't ask
go,
us
let-
nothing. You
let-
have to tell
let's
us
see,
why
let's
it's
see.
about
No, I'm
facts.
telling you that he doesn't care anymore.
Why?
Because I want to ask you: is Carter 5?
You keep
in your
asking me.
opinion, do you think Carter 5 will produce things like this?
Yes.
Like Joseph Forte got Doja or Ye.
Hey.
No, that's hard. But I still think he'll be great.
No.
He asked me
if
a
he
question.
did that shit then, man, he could do that now. And furthermore,
Yeah.
he's been
What has
shelved
shown
for
y'all
years.
that? What was the last thing that has shown
I
y'all
just
that?
sent you. I just sent you the song with Swiss.
You listened to his
Just
last
yesterday.
mixtape?
Yes, I did. I'm a Wayne fan, y'all.
Hey, guys.
Just because I'm critical.
Y'all keep answering all his questions.
And he's not
And
asking.
he has answered not one time.
That is true.
What makes us think, and I'm going to keep saying it, and you can dance around it, you can avoid it, you can do everything you want to do, and that's fine, because I'm not going to argue with you. But again, I keep asking, you said that all Wayne cares about is money.
And that was
we need
free.
facts. We need
That was
facts to
free.
say what.
That's what I'm saying. Back
Right.
then, he
So-
cared about being the art.
So
he
what
doesn't
makes-
care about that anymore,
Why?
y'all.
Why?
How?
Okay, why?
What makes him not care
Because
about
he
that?
hasn't put out a good project in years, guys.
Because he couldn't put the music out. That's what
He can't
This
put
wasn't
out-
on Cash Money. This was for free. He cared about the art. Think about all the art
Well,
he gave us
I
for
will
free.
say,
That man
I will
wants
say,
to-
I like Lil Wayne's last few mixtapes. I like them. I work
Right.
out to them on a daily, and you do too.
Regardless
It's not that.
regardless of
not
what you
good.
want.
I like him.
Regardless if
That
you
man
think it's
put
gonna
words
be
together real good. I'm sorry, Tyler.
right.
Go ahead.
No, you good. Regardless of what you're saying, as far as like you don't think it's gonna be a good album, people are gonna buy it just because they're intrigued.
If
The
you
boy
think-
hadn't pulled out an album. He hadn't put out what 5 years?
It was it. I don't know. Longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
album.
around
I'm
there.
talking about a
2012.
studio
Yeah.
album.
I think it was 2012.
5 years.
Yeah,
that's
Carter
a long
3. Yeah,
time.
probably longer. Yeah.
You gonna go and listen to it just because you want to hear what he's saying.
If you think
and
I'm
the
not
right
going to
line-
go listen to Lil Wayne, like you tripping, yes. But
Okay.
And you
I
think-
don't have the
Okay, another
anticipation
thing.
for it.
Another thing is, if you think he's doing it for the money, he just got $51 million.
He can stop. Right.
But he still wants to put this album out in the fall, which is now.
Hey man, all I'm saying is
I feel
his
you.
last few projects has not been up to his caliber. It's
That's
just not.
That's okay. That's your opinion. I like them. Anybody else listen to him?
I
like
love
them?
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like
all
Yeah,
the
it is.
mixtape.
when I listen to Wayne again, it's very, and I've said this before. It's just so hard for somebody to tell me that we're gonna compare Wayne to somebody who can produce everything that they want to produce, put out the music that they want to put out, and then we say that Wayne make a mixtape. When we hear his mixtapes, you can see the rap ability. When it comes to wordplay and putting words together, it's not a lot of people who can stand up to him with wordplay.
At all.
We haven't been able to see where he's able to work with big time producers, be able to produce music. I don't know. I'm not saying that to say that the Carter is gonna be like the livest thing we ever heard, because I feel like it has a lot of
It'll be good.
expectations to live up to. But I'm also gonna say that I'm just excited for this man who has been handicapped and who has never been able, like, I'm not gonna say never, but in recent years hasn't been able to put out the music that he wants to put out to the masses. When you look at a mixtape is I just went in here and I put this shit together and here you go.
And for no reason.
Right.
Like,
For
I
no
just
reason.
came over some sales.
And we just saw that.
Let me
they
fail
said-
at first,
They
at
said that
least.
Wayne, under doctor's orders and results, went from like recording 24 hours a day to 18 hours a day. So to say that he's not putting his all into it, that's just absurd. That's crazy.
Been working a
Okay.
lot of free
At
hours.
crickets.
A lot of free hours.
No, because
Crickets, let's move on.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
you just see that.
so now we have to move
But
on.
hold on,
No,
no,
let's stay
stay
there.
Let's
Come on,
stay
let's stay
there.
there. Come on, go ahead.
Let's stay there. Let's stay there.
Are you gonna answer our question yet?
No.
What question?
We can stay there. No,
Can you answer me that you think that
we did.
this
we've
Carter
answered it 5
project is
times.
going to be just as good?
Yeah.
We think it is.
I think it's gonna be good.
Okay, well, we have no other argument then.
We've
It's
an-
not, but
We
okay.
answered you a lot of times, but you've
Okay,
yet
but
to
it's
answer
not.
our. You've yet.
I mean, like, y'all love this man so much, and he's put in enough work for him to be loved.
Clearly, you right.
Don't,
So what are you saying?
don't get me wrong, but he's at the end of his career. It's not as good.
I don't think so.
Okay,
The
well,
man
we'll
been
see.
recording music since he was 9 years old. We're talking about him today.
And-
What the deal? What
and
does
then-
hold on. What does the deal entail? Does he get all of Young Money, or does he get all of?
No, Young Money is his. It's 100%.
So
Right.
with
Well,
that,
who's on Young Man? I think
yes.
is what he's
So
saying.
that, so with that being said, I know
I'm not-
Drake's done, but
we
what
don't
about-
know how that's gonna go
Yeah.
because we know that Nicki is in the middle of, like, she's coming up a contract. Drake hasn't really necessarily announced where he's going. And Drake has earned the right to be
Stand
whatever
alone.
it is that he's gonna be.
So with that,
You got the Jay Jones. I feel like Jay
I
Jones.
like Jay Jones.
Yeah, I like
Jay
him a lot. I don't
But
know.
he ain't it.
I don't know how
But I
the
like him.
masses
I like him.
have received him, but I don't know. I'm just excited about Wayne. I don't care about all that other stuff.
They still got little fears, don't they? Or little.
You got to live somebody, not Fizz, I don't think. Somebody. But with that being said, we got a list we're gonna talk about later, the Forbes list, of course. Y'all still seeing Birdman doing what he's been doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like Birdman. Let me tell you about Birdman. Birdman has insulated himself from all of that, the other stuff. He's a good businessman, man. Like, regardless of people getting paid, I'm not saying that he's a good businessman and that you've gotten the benefit from it, but he has won.
Yeah, he got
a
the
lot
ball
of
and all that
business
shit.
Yeah.
that he has done. He's enriched his pocket, man. Birdman. We saw on the
I think
and let's go there.
he had 19
like,
million.
you know
I
what
want to
I'm
say
saying?
19 million.
We saw that Forbes just released a hip hop list, and Birdman was still on there, and Wayne was still on there, and I even give more credit going back to Wayne. He's able to still be on a list without being able to put out an album.
I know I'm ahead of my time, but that's my surprise.
Right? You know
Wayne
what I'm
is
saying?
my surprise.
Despite all
That's
of the
crazy.
things that happened to him, Wayne has been on this list year in and year out. So we saw that Forbes just recently put out their top 20 artists, grossing artists of the year. It was several different artists that crossed the threshold and basically saying that was on there. It was really cool to see that Migos made it on there.
Yeah.
They cheating though.
I'm not gonna say they cheated.
I mean, it's still a bang. Hey, I'll take it in the goddamn dead of week.
Dre, Eminem. And
Yeah,
Dre.
I kind of agree with Hootie. I'm sorry, but like on the overall list, like they have the Walton family. They're all listed. They're all listed individually, so it's just not like the Sam Walton group. Like they're all listed
It's
individually.
on the hip hop.
No,
list?
like overall.
Oh, you talking about overall Forbes?
Yeah.
We talking about
The Forbes list.
the Forbes.
Well,
or hip-hop.
I mean, I
The
think
what
he was
the-
saying them as a group, but
Right.
yeah, I mean they got to split it. But I think
Yeah,
they
I
still
think
should be
they would
listed.
work like 24 million. So as a group, yes, they make it. But if you split that in, I guess that's why they make it as a group and not
Yeah.
individually.
They didn't say
Okay,
Quavo
okay,
made
okay.
24 million. Yeah,
Quavo,
But
probably,
again,
Quavo probably made 15. Of
I
them.
don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. But it's something to me
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
people who come from nothing, man.
Yeah, all of them.
Migo, man, you know how many people laughed at the Migo when they trapping out the house with the boys on the
I was one of
window?
them.
I was one of them.
I was one of them.
Right.
I wanna-
And look at them boys now. They
I was
on
one of 'em.
billboards,
That shit
man.
crazy.
That's why I feel like with Wayne, man, it's something to be said about a man who I've been listening to since he was 9 or 10 years old, and now he's able to put out what he's in his rightful position now. I like that shit, man. I like to see a winner, man. You know what I'm saying? Who is similar to our makeup, be
Right.
able to come up and win, man. Like I think
Gotta be
that's
happy for it. You
Right,
can't-
you
ain't-
got to
There's
be.
no reason to be mad at all about it. Who surprised y'all to be on this list? Goddamn,
Meek Mill for me.
Meek Mill.
Meek
I
Mill.
agree.
Because
I
he
agree.
because he was locked up.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
that man got out 15 last year.
What-
How do you do that?
What his number was? You remember what his number was?
I don't know. He was. I mean, it's a list of 20. He may have been maybe 19, 18, somewhere.
Yeah,
in
I
there.
want to say the
He was
lowest was
15.
15. I think.
Yeah, he was
The
somewhere
lowest-
like that. He was like 15, 16
Right.
million.
Yeah.
But and I'm with you, Todd. I was glad to see Meek Mill bounce back and get on that list. We saw that Nas
Yeah,
for the
Nas,
first time.
yeah.
Nas has been it's debatable, but I feel like Nas has been dropping. I mean, especially his earlier projects. Nas was a phenomenal rapper. We finally saw that he got on there with 35 million, and with Nas, a lot of his money was from investments.
Right.
And
not rap.
it was from a gentleman that he met, which to me goes to a standpoint to all your youngsters out there. You all a lot of life, a lot of business is about who you know, not what you know.
Right.
So when you in college or you in the streets or whatever you're doing, it's good to network with people because you never know who you're gonna meet, who you're gonna bump into. This person that Nas met helped turn him on to a lot of investments, which helped now for the first time in his whole career. Nas has been out since 94, 95, finally jump onto the Forbes highest earning list
Right,
for the
at-
top 20. So
at 44.
shouts out to Nas. That was one of my surprises.
Yeah.
That's 35 million.
35
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
God.
in 1 year.
In 1
My
year.
God, man.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
mine's-
Salute to
Mine is
Nas,
gonna be.
man.
Man, I was kind of surprised that Wayne made $19 million and has to put out a good project in 5 years.
He's still on tour. He still got truck fit.
He was still responsible for Drake.
Drake,
He was
Nicki.
still responsible for Nicki.
That shows a businessman of his.
Yeah.
And the catalog that he has amassed before that.
It's crazy. I can only. He's still only 33, 34. Like some of the richest
Like
rappers
35.
alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
35. I think he a year
35.
older than all.
Yeah, he was
like
like right,
35.
but still right there.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in
yeah.
the richest will hold them pushing 40 something. With how 50 maybe?
Yeah,
Hov and did it 50.
Yeah, and
Wayne
I mean,
gonna surpass that. I see it.
But-
At least I hope he does. I
But-
hope he does.
Listen,
But if Wayne given that opportunity, I think he maybe could have been up there with them.
I
easily,
agree.
easily.
Easily.
That's what we've been talking about all night. My
Yeah.
man's been handicapped. It would be easy that Wayne would be up there with some of the top earners, and maybe there's a reason why Wayne has been handicapped because maybe it was a sense like if
Maybe
you're
there
the
will be
CEO,
no more Birdman.
If you're the CEO, do you want your employee? I don't give a shit.
Nope.
But some people don't want their employee being banking more than them.
Exactly.
And maybe that's the reason. They always said that was an underlying reason why Baby did what he did with Wayne. I don't know.
Question it also. Was that supposed to be Wayne's last album?
With what?
We never know the
Birdman.
deal.
With
Like,
Birdman.
No, because remember he signed a 4-year. He signed 4 more album deal, which was gonna give him 10 million an album or something. That
And-
was the 51 something million. It was a 4
During-
or 5 year deal, and then
So then, and that
Just actually during
that's even
like
more
the-
confusing now why Birdman wouldn't put it out because it's not like it's his last album. And
during like the
league.
Jay-Z thing when he's on the mixtape.
Again,
is it during that time?
he already expressed like with Jay-Z just didn't offer him.
Yeah. But I'm saying, is that the deal like you're referring to? Like I'm just saying
No,
that
you're
out
talking
of pure
about
like I don't know.
No, this was after the Jay-Z thing. Because
was-
remember, Jay-Z
signed
offered him, and
something
then they gave him the president title.
And then he got
but
something
then
else
even
after
after
that.
he got something after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, making up the Forbes list, we saw that the top 5 it was J. Cole at 35 million.
Cole.
Shouts out to J.
Cole
Cole.
looked like a
Oh,
boomer.
world.
Yeah, J. Cole put out a lot of music, and if you look at J. Cole is a nigga who just say like, look, I'm gonna wear what I wear, I'm gonna dress how I dress. You either accept me or you're not. I'm not putting all that shit on there.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I really do fuck with
Man,
that.
it's
Like,
a cool thing.
I
It's just
wear what I
basically
want.
showing you that
I wake
you know,
up and go.
Yeah, like I mean, sometimes we spend all this money on being designer and being all this stuff, man, and at the end of the day, some of them people had the worst pockets in America, man.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
trying to keep up with the Joneses, but J. Cole don't care, man. I just seen a picture of
That
J. Cole, man. My man looks so
You look
Homely.
homeless.
Nigga
he
super
just
homely,
look so,
goddamn.
Look
yeah,
homeless.
man. And my man just look like he really
For
woke
real.
up.
But he gonna
Took-
wake up and be like, I'm rich.
35
And
million
that's it.
yen.
We saw Drake. Drake was number 4 at $47 million. Shouts out to Drake. Drake been putting in work for years. It's not gonna be nothing but a matter of time before I know it before Drake gonna be in that
He gonna be
in
in
that
number one
in
spot.
that big upper echelon category. But I mean they got years on him. But shouts out to Drake. We saw Kendrick Lamar. Shouts out to Kendrick. He was at $58 million at the
Kendrick.
number 3 spot.
Laces.
That was surprising.
Laces.
That
know
was
why?
surprising. I mean,
It
no,
was
know why.
until I saw it, because for some reason I always forget about him. I don't know how, but I always forget about him. But then when I see him, I'm like, yeah, he deserves. He's supposed to be right.
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
he's
he's put in the work to be where he be.
But I was surprised he's over Drake. I was surprised about
that
Shit,
Nike
me,
deal,
because-
like I mean, me personally, like I don't know what he does with Nike.
Who?
He got a
Kendrick?
Reebok deal.
No, okay, I'm sorry.
Got
It was Reebok. It was
Then
Reebok.
you seen the
You don't know
NBA
what nobody
playoffs
do with
all
Reebok.
last year. That man did the national championship halftime show last year.
Yep.
All through the NBA playoffs and the whole season, you heard that nigga album off down. So
You damn sure did on
you know
all
what
them
I'm saying?
NBA games.
All them NBA games.
Okay,
bumping that shit.
okay, I see what you're saying.
And I mean, it's just something that, you know, he been around a lot of business, man. He's a
Right.
product of Drake, you know what I mean? Like,
He's a hell of a
I'm
business.
pretty sure they've laced him the game, and he soaked up the game from the OGs. So,
Laced up. That's why his name Laces.
yeah, laces. Shouts out to him being number 3. And number 2 and number 1, I mean, it's no fucking secret. And that 64 million coming in at number 2 was Diddy. I mean, Diddy is gonna be him.
Right.
My man is always gonna be
Take that.
around the list, as well as Jay-Z at $76 million. Rounded out at number 1. Jay-Z gonna always be at the top of those lists. And shouts out to Jay-Z and Diddy for just being consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't Diddy above last time? I think Diddy was up
I think
top.
they go back.
They
and
go
forth.
back
go
and
back and
forth.
forth.
I mean,
Yeah.
and sometimes Dre jump in there. Dre wasn't in the top 5, but he ain't never gonna. He was on the list.
When he signed that Beats deal, he was
You know what I'm saying?
But like recently,
I
like,
can only imagine them conversations, fool. Diddy and Jay-Z conversations. Imagine them conversations.
Man,
fool.
big money talk.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even.
But you know what? They probably don't even
They
talk
probably
about
don't
it.
that's all I was just
I
gonna
know
say.
that'll be my
I
money.
doubt they probably because
Like
like
them nigga liars.
because like neither one of them can talk how they talk to everybody else in the world to each other.
I
Right.
guarantee they.
So
don't
they
talk
probably
about
don't
money.
talk at all.
It's not money, but then it probably will be about some art in the South.
And
of
then
France
and then
shit.
if you think about it, it's never been any like Bad Boys, Rockefeller.
beef,
No, not beef, but collab. No, I don't think they talk at all.
they
At
talk.
all.
I mean,
I don't
they
think
talk.
they've
They
ever
talk.
really talked
Well, 'cause
like
I
that.
think they talk because Jay-Z then shot it Puff out in a few of his songs. Like, well, I'm gonna drink this when Puff got some rock and shit.
Yeah,
like
right.
that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so
And
I'm sure.
But
they talk.
that's what I say
They
with
got
Drake.
to.
And they go back, like going back, they go back to my Drake and Meek Mill. We can do so much together that we
Together,
can't
right.
divide it. You know what I mean? Like I can help you, you can help me. Like if me and Huda are rappers and Huda got like a brand and I got a brand, ain't nothing for me to shout out his brand.
Right.
Why would I ever drink, this when Puff got Ciroc?
Exactly.
Right.
Just by Jay-Z saying that's gonna make so
That's
many
gonna
people
make-
go
right.
get Ciroc.
And that's gonna make a conversation.
Right, and that's a conversation out of it. So, shouts out to them boys, man. They keep being consistent and being the standard bearers of what we see. Diving in it, man. I mean, we see like shit lately, man. It's been a rash of and what led to this was we saw a picture of someone. We don't want to dive into who that person was, but we saw a picture of someone who's had a woman who has had a lot of plastic surgery as of recent, and it made us talk amongst each other as a group to decide, like, if you had a woman, would you be okay with your woman getting ass shots or breast augmentations or different shit to make their waist look good? All of this different shit that we see going on in society. I'll say this to say to just open it up to everybody's opinion. I personally I feel like it's something so beautiful about a woman to the point that they don't have to necessarily do all of that extra shit. Like, if you in a situation to where, like, you're beautiful as is. Like, everything about you is perfect as is. Now, if you and your man decide that you want to go do some extra stuff, that's between y'all, and I understand that's y'all opinion. But my opinion is, like, sometimes we see that certain people just take it too far with the extra surgery, the ass shots, all the different stuff that we see. Are y'all feeling it? Are y'all rocking with it? Are y'all letting y'all lady do all of this extra stuff? What's up?
No, not at all. Like, I'm again, like, it's like we on the same page tonight for some odd reason. I don't feel the need for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm married, so my wife definitely can't do that right now.
Right, and I
You know,
understand.
that ain't who I married. You know what I'm saying? I want the exact same person that I married. Now, if she was to,
What if you met her that way?
it's not possible.
I'm saying, what if you met your wife and she had fake breast, fake butt, and you liked it already? Then
Man,
what?
But see, then I feel lied to. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't the person.
But what
I
if you knew?
married, you know what I'm saying?
No. I'm saying, what if you knew and you liked it and it was okay? So,
Well, honestly, it's never been my preference. I
got you,
ain't no hypotheticals in that. You know what I'm saying? That's never been my preference. Natural is good for me. I don't have to have the enhancements or nothing like that.
you ever had any enhancements?
Me personally?
Somebody.
I don't know.
Have you been with somebody who's had enhancements?
Yeah, I mean, you can ask a man that because there's no enhancements we can get.
No,
I
that's
haven't.
not my question. My question is, have
Nah.
you
Well,
been
they
with
actually
somebody?
they just show what
Yeah.
niggas can get.
Calves and
Yeah.
and chest.
You can get chest, abs,
Calf nigga in this
goddamn
bitch with
get
big
big
fake
goddamn
boulders.
cheese. You can goddamn add a little few inches to that shit.
Bionic
it's
man,
shit.
goddamn.
Bionic man, my man.
Right,
goddamn,
right.
it's a lot of- Hey,
Bionic
the
man.
way they got surgery now, nigga, you can add anything. And like I said, if there's not like a medical limitation to some shit like that, is just not functioning how it's designed to do. I just feel like, man, we already designed how we supposed to be designed,
Right.
man.
Be who you are.
Cause like now, man, we see all that shit, man. People get these fat transfers and they get that ass and shit, and great, it looks cool for a minute,
Right.
but we see that shit can have the opposite effect.
I agree. Well,
Yeah.
what my stance is I don't have a problem with it as long as it looks right and it's done right. If it looks right and it's done right, then hey, more power to you. If it's trash,
Yeah, it's kind of like
trash.
weed, man. If you're gonna get that shit, go get the good shit.
Yeah, if it's trash, it's trash.
Go get let me be
Don't
quiet.
get no Reggie.
But yeah, like don't
Stop getting these Reggie butt
Don't
plants.
go to your little cousin. Oh, my
got
little
the Reggie.
cousin gonna put this shit in. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Niggas notice that shit. We may not say something or, you know what I'm saying, but we be like,
Go get you some Cali tits. Not that Mississippi dirt.
yeah, don't go to goddamn South America get that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
man,
you
come
Now I
crazy.
will say, yeah, the Puerto Rico surgeons, no. But minor enhancements, it's not my thing, and I don't agree with it as far as, what I got going on. But I don't see a big problem with that if it's just a minor enhancement. But the total overhaul, which the picture that we were talking about
It's
kind of
trash.
portrayed, is trash.
Yeah,
and it-
but do you know it's gonna turn out that way too?
I don't think you ever
have
do.
to, man.
You can't know it's gonna.
I don't
Because-
know.
because
But
it's so
if
new.
Your breath
I'ma-
stink or your
I'ma
mustard. You smell it yourself.
This
Before
just
anybody else
again,
do.
this is just my personal opinion. Kill me for my personal opinion, and don't let my personal opinion be everybody. I don't think like us as black people, man. We gotta stay away from that nose shit.
Nose,
Like that
the
nose
face.
shit there, man.
And
That
that
ain't
lightning.
for us, man. Our nose is fit perfectly to our face.
That's
when
what mess-
you go get that little narrow ass nose, boy, look like can't breathe with it,
Right.
man. Stop doing that shit.
That's
Skinny
what,
nose and a
that's what messed
cheekbone,
Michael
too.
Jackson up. Somebody gave him one too many nose jokes, and he wanted to turn into a full-fledged
Man.
white woman.
I love my nose. Like don't fuck my nose. Like
My
hey,
nose
hey,
big.
that nose is very important
even
on the
look at
face. If you fuck with that nose on that face, But yeah,
That bit to the left, goddamn. That bit over your
nigga
left
be having
eye.
a goddamn look, half an inch nose, goddamn, on that 99-inch face, man. You can't do that shit. That
That's
shit
just
bad built.
us. Like
You don't want to be bad built in the face.
In the
goddamn.
face.
Yes, sir. You can fix the body, but if you
Pink-
bad built in the face, you fucked up.
Penguin face, goddamn.
Just don't mess up our natural features. Like naturally, we have
Yeah,
big
man.
noses, we have big mouths, and I'm a person that has both of them.
Don't mess with your face at
but
all, in my opinion.
yeah, as far as the body
That's
thing,
crazy.
Unless
Face?
like
That is crazy.
Kay Michelle has showed us that it's not needed.
Yeah.
Like she was fine as all outdoors without it. You put that on there, like all right, that kind of look
But Nicki
weird.
Minaj showed you it is needed. Y'all saw her earlier pictures?
But that was also her real early. You know, women get finer.
That
as
was
they
before
get
she had a
older.
quarter. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
And she was young.
She could have been. I mean, the thing about it is, like, I don't give a fuck for normal people. Like,
I like
I
normal,
say
to
that,
be
like,
fair. I
like
like
when you,
normal.
even when you get a job, I've seen a lot of women go from college age to I have a job now and I make money and I can go get my little nails done, I can get my little
Right.
hair done, and they glow up.
Right.
But they didn't need surgery to glow up. They just needed a little couple extra coins in their pocket to glow up.
Right.
Again,
Oh,
I'm not. In no way am I the voice to say what women should or shouldn't do. If you feel like you need it, do your thing or whatever. But I'm just telling you that black women, y'all are some of the most beautifulest people on the planet. Y'all don't have to change it. You look great how you look. That's my opinion.
You look great how you look.
You look great how you look.
Put that on the shirt.
and beautifulest.
You look beautifully.
And beautifulest. Goddamn.
Beautifully.
Well, I made up a word.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Damn it. Made up a word. Damn.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, straight up. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have to do all that extra stuff. And
You don't need no extra, but if you're going to do it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, she should have done it right.
Right.
But that makes me
Because
think.
she had damn.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
She had. Oh,
No,
yeah,
but-
you can't say.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, man. If anybody was able to do it right, it would have been her. So I'm under the impression that now that whoever gets it later on, that shit gonna look like that.
I just think like it was so new and it wasn't governed as much as it's governed now.
It's better
But
now.
man,
It's
if you're gonna do it, you need to go to Beverly Hills or wherever it's getting done right at.
yeah, because they went from a procedure where they used to actually like put some shit in there to like a actual fat transfer. And fat transfer probably
It's
is
your
a
own-
better way
yeah,
to
it's your
do
own
it.
shit.
It's just taking fat from somewhere you don't want it
Right.
and put it into a place you want it. But we also saw that like if you don't work out and you don't do
gonna
that
work.
shit with that shit transforms.
Yeah.
Because we saw a picture this week where
In a
somebody
year.
in one whole year
58, 90 pounds.
we
something
got
like that.
this picture now. We ain't gonna put it out
We ain't
there.
gonna put it
But
out
we
there,
saw
yeah.
in 1 year, but yeah, it went from goddamn sexy to goddamn
Nah,
quick.
that ain't. I didn't think it was the same person when I saw it.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Oh
Me
yeah,
neither.
I didn't either. I like it's no way that
I had
can
to
happen.
compare
Jesus,
faces.
what you been eating, people?
I turned to the FBI. Goddamn, I had compared faces.
But yeah, shouts out to y'all. Y'all look good like how y'all do. Ooh. I already know this topic finna.
tough. Yeah, it's a tough one here, man.
I already know that this topic finna be tough. It's gonna put us in a place, but
Ooh, what's the topic?
we,
I'm ready.
We gotta dive into it. We gotta talk about it. Bothem, and I don't know if I said that right. Bothem Jean, a man from Dallas, Texas, who was in his own apartment, and he was minding his own business when a Dallas police officer by the name of Amber Geiger allegedly walked into the wrong apartment, thinking that it was her own apartment. Was seen, I guess, bumped into Bothem Jean in his own apartment, giving commands, and he didn't obey by him. I'm finna follow what the fuck you say when you come into my house. You know what I'm saying? Telling me to do something like I don't pay the rent in here. But he was shot. He was killed. And we saw this week that there was a search warrant executed on his apartment or on his house. And that they found several different items that was listed. And one of the things that they decided to release on the day of his funeral, they decided to release that there was one, and it was several items found, but some of the things that stuck out to me, and we can make our own interpretations of what this means, but there was one alleged black box with police equipment and paperwork in it. I don't know what the paperwork was. They never said. There was also one black ballistic vest with police markings on it. as well as 10.4 grams of marijuana in a Ziploc bag, as well as a metal grinder. And some RFID keys. For those who don't know what that is, those are the keys that help, like, you scan the door and the keys allow you access to whatever it is it allows you access to. I feel like at this point, I get so tired of when we're in a situation where we have been victimized. And when I say we, I mean us as black people, as black men, black people, period. We never can be victimized. You ever notice that? It's like,
Gotta find
yeah,
something else.
he got shot. He was in the wrong apartment. But let's just bring up the fact that he had weed in his apartment. Let's bring up the fact that he had a grinder. Let's bring up the fact, like, we always have to bring up some extra shit in regards to us being victimized. And at this point, my nigga, like, to y'all, I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of people doing stuff to us wrong, and then they have to find a reason to justify why they doing it. I'm sick of us getting wrong done to us, and they, instead of showing a picture of us with our family, they want to show the picture of us with some weed in our hand, or us doing some shit that'll make the public be like, well, shit, that was good for him. I'm sick of that. Stop painting us in a light where we criminals, or where we, nuisance to society, man. And in this point, I feel like it was super tasteless. We talked about a lot of different stories today, whether it was black or white and all that stuff. But I just find overwhelmingly where we are always painted in a light that there was something wrong with us, or that we didn't do something right, or we didn't do enough to avoid us being killed or being shot, or in our interactions with police or whoever the fuck it be. I'm just at a point where I'm sick of it, man. I don't know how anybody else is feeling. I know I kind of ran off on it, but I'm just telling y'all how I personally feel about it. I'm tired of reading these different news stories, and we treat it inhuman, like we just some fucking animals, or we just something like, do anybody else feel a type of way about this? Because I'm telling y'all, man, I know I keep going on and on, but I'm sick of that shit.
You think you ran off on it?
Go ahead.
Let me hold it for a second. Mm-hmm. Here's an individual that was doing the right thing in his own apartment.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Here's an individual who worked with at-risk boys and visited orphanages and ministered to the sick. This is also an individual who, amongst his family and friends, always had a smile on his face. Now, that's easy. You can say that's easy to say because everybody says that to a person that has lost their lives.
It ain't easy to smile all day, guys.
Right. It's not. So this individual did no wrong. And I know we are kind of affiliated with the media now with this podcast, and that's cool. But one thing I can guarantee we don't do on this show is that type of fucking gutless shit there. That shit was spineless. Nobody in there. He is a fucking victim.
Right.
There's no other way you can go around. You cannot paint this man as a villain. No way. No how. He's in his own apartment. It doesn't matter if he had weed. Did he die from weed, or did he die from somebody killing him? See, what you want to do is you want to change the narrative. You want to change what the focus is. The focus is that this bitch is in this apartment and it's not hers, and she fired a weapon and didn't see one. Mm-hmm. Even if she is law enforcement, whatever the fuck her career is, he was a businessman.
Right.
But for the media to put that out there like that on his funeral date, like,
family still grieving.
Right.
It's dirty for them, but for me, it don't change my views at all.
At all.
And,
but it's not going to, Hooter, because you know why? It happened to us.
But that's why they put it out too.
Right.
Fox News, they put it out.
I am in my home, I don't care what I got. I can have dinosaurs in that motherfucker. You understand me?
Right.
I can have comets. I can have all kind of shit that y'all. I can have aliens in that shit that y'all ain't never seen before. You have no right to bust in my apartment and kill me because the fact that you said that I wasn't complying by your rules. Nigga, this is my shit. I'm not going to comply by you. Because imagine if that was the other store and we bust in one of their apartments.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate to make it black and white because I feel like everything should be out in my perfect world. I think everything should be fair and and wrong. It's
Should be.
wrong or right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like whether you black, white, green, or whatever, if you do some shit that is wrong, like busting into somebody's apartment, it should be the same narrative.
You should go to jail.
Right.
You should be the bad
But
guy. goddamn.
imagine what we would look like if we bust into that house and that apartment in the wrong spot where we wasn't supposed to be.
It's a
We
home
would be
invasion.
the thug. We would be the aggressive nature. We would have problems. We wouldn't be that, oh, he's on medication and he's troubled youth and he didn't have, like, we don't
You
get
notice
those
they
names.
haven't really
Man
put
kills
anything
black
out about
woman
her.
in a murder home invasion.
Y'all
That's
notice
the
they-
That's
headline.
it.
Y'all
I
notice they
just hate
have
how the media, I hate
Nothing
how the
about her.
media portrayed it,
Y'all-
and like how they changed their points. Like, who cares that it was weed there? I don't
I
care
don't.
if this man smoked weed every day, did nothing else in the community. That's all he did was smoke weed. Who cares? That
Don't kill him.
doesn't afford you the right to walk into this man's house
And that's
shoot him.
that's our whole point.
Yeah.
What you was about to say, who?
It was something along the line of that. I forgot.
Rest in peace to him.
And hopefully you get justice, my
And
brother.
hopefully, the true stories come out. We don't necessarily know how this stuff is gonna go, but we just hope.
The way it's looking, we kind of know where it's gonna go. They trying to make it go somewhere.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we can go all night about different stories with that. And I'm pretty sure we'll be back next week or the week after that with something because of the way life goes. But moving on to sports, we saw that the Browns and Josh Gordon informed that he will be released Monday. Josh Gordon's troubled tenure with the Cleveland Browns has finally ended. The team announced Saturday night that it intends to release the former Pro Bowl wide receiver whose immense talent has been overshadowed by substance abuse that has derailed his promising career. Josh Brown, man, we saw that Josh Brown is
Gordon.
Sorry, shit. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Josh Gordon. We saw that he's an enormous talent. Very, 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 very talented wide receiver that has had different troubles with substance abuse. The Browns has, in my opinion, we've talked about, different teams and being lenient with different players. They've been more than patient with this particular player. How do y'all feel about Josh Gordon being released by the Browns?
I think it's time. I'm sorry to say that, but it is time. They've put up with a lot. He's 27. They've been dealing with the same things for the last 4 or 5 years. That's longer than I've ever seen any NFL, NBA, MLB, any organization deal with a problem of
How
this
many
matter.
years you said?
He's 27 now, so I can only imagine
He's been there since his rookie year.
22,
Yeah.
22
Right.
years
Yeah.
old. So 4 or 5 years, and he's been in issues the last 4 years for sure.
Right.
So I think it's time. I'm sorry, but I got a couple things I want to read. They had a few tweets out there of the reason for it. I've seen some things that says it was because of a hamstring, but then there's also this tweet out here now from Mary Kay Cobot, or Cobot, I don't know, but she works for the Browns or in that area, and says, updated, Browns Gordon showed up late to the facility on Saturday morning and was not himself. Red flag for possible substance use was the concern of some in the organization. So they're putting that out there. They're also putting it out there that it's a hamstring injury. I guess as time comes on, we'll see which one it is, but
This
sorry.
is a breaking news story, so
Mhm.
facts haven't been said. But this goes back to the previous topic. But if it comes out that it was an indication of substance abuse, I'm with you. Like, enough is enough. Like, this is what, his 4th, 5th chance.
last 4 years, yeah.
Well,
I get it, but if it wasn't, I don't, because it's all indications seem like he had turned it around. And if that's not true,
Did it?
well, I mean, like, he hasn't gotten in trouble out of last year.
But what happened remember what happened in the preseason?
What?
That can be
Besides him
seen-
being hurt.
Well, that can be seen as an issue. In the preseason, he left the team. It was like he didn't practice. He didn't play in preseason games because he was going to get some help or whatever that meant. We don't know what all of that means.
I thought that was just for physical. I mean, I took that as for like,
He had to. They never gave a clear explanation. Even
Right.
still,
yeah.
They said he needed to go away and get himself right, whatever that meant.
And we
So
all
they-
know sometimes they say that because he is dealing
They just
with
got to
other
release
issues.
that statement.
Right.
But I'm going to say, if it is substance abuse, they're more than their right to give him the boot.
Well-
Even if it's not, even if it was suspect, they held held to him longer than most organizations would.
Right.
So either way, if they want, they could have cut him 2 years ago.
For no reason.
So if they
At
cut
this
him
point.
for maybe not the best reason this time, you really can't blame him, because I think it was a zero tolerance at this point.
Yeah, with him, because he had to get reinstatement by he had to be reinstated by the NFL as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because of constant marijuana test failures or whatever. So I had high hopes for him. You know, I'm high on.
I'm still a fan of his.
I'm
I
still a
just hope he
fan.
get it
I
right.
think he can play the game at a high level.
He on
still.
my fantasy team,
But-
so I damn sure believed in him. But
If if
cutting him tomorrow,
if it comes out as it is an apparent, you know, another drug-induced failure or whatever the Browns are putting out there, that lady who you just said put that out there. If that is the case, that's a clear sign of what we were talking about on last week's episode. That substance abuse. It's something wrong with him. He can't leave. You know what I'm saying? He's an addict.
Yeah.
So at this point, you know,
It's
what I'm
tough
saying?
at this
I just hope that they help get him help
Right.
if it's needed. I think they've been more than patient with him as far as football is concerned. I told y'all before, the NFL is what can you do for me now. He hasn't done anything for them in years.
Right.
As much as we want the NFL to have sympathy for him, he's not producing for them on the field, and that's their overall concern,
Right.
and that's their bottom line. If you're running the business, you're not doing what I need you to do. Time to let you go.
Right.
They've been more than patient with him.
And
So-
also with that, teams are already calling about him.
Yeah,
But-
call
but-
them. Let them come.
They
I mean,
want
at
him
this
already.
point, if I'm the Browns, I haven't gotten what I needed out of you,
Right.
and I'm still
Right.
paying you. So, best of luck for you with somebody else. Let me let you move on. I'm gonna move on,
Right.
and we'll be done in regards to that.
But last week wasn't he? When you consider him productive in a backup role? Because he didn't start last week.
And I saw that too. That was a mistake,
That was
but
a
he
mistake
actually
that he
started.
but he wasn't supposed to start.
Right, and he had
it was
one
supposed
catch.
to be a backup role.
And
Right.
one catch,
And-
one touchdown.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
The-
having a touchdown as a receiver is kind of being productive.
Right, and
a
the way they-
touchdown a game, that's kind of productive.
Young Dash just asked how they mistakenly started him. It was because of a personnel issue. So in certain personnel,
Oh, it was the package.
It was
that
the
they in.
package.
Okay,
He was in that package as a third wide receiver, so he started.
He started
technically,
yeah.
But yeah, man, get some help, man. Hopefully that's not the issue. If it is, hopefully it gets fixed.
Yep. And we saw, staying in the NFL, we saw that my man Aaron Rodgers.
Two pistols.
For those of you who didn't see two pistols, that's what we call them around here. Two pistols. Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers played against the Chicago Bears. This is a heated rivalry in the NFL. But basically, Aaron Rodgers was able to lead a comeback. His team was down entering the fourth quarter. They were down 20-3. And they were able to basically tie the game when Aaron Rodgers hit a pass over to Aaron Cobb, tying the actual game. For those who don't know, that Aaron Rodgers did actually leave the game for a period of time due to some type of leg injury. They never really got, and I didn't. Maybe y'all have. I didn't see the actual details of what the leg injury was.
Like a
but-
sprained knee or something
yeah,
like that.
right. And he left for a period of time to get healed or get treatment or get a shot. We know what happens when you go back there. But Aaron Rodgers ultimately brought his team back. And just throwing this out there, I saw in commentary and comments. I think I have an idea of how everybody feel, but I'm not gonna displace how I think y'all feel without y'all being here. Y'all can say what y'all want. But I saw that it brought up a comment about Aaron Rodgers being better than Tom Brady in this comeback. Again, that's up for debate, and we'll talk about it. But it's something to be said about Aaron Rodgers and his skill set. It allowed him, his team looked totally different with him in the game versus when my man from UCLA was in the game. I can't think of his name right now.
It was Kaiser. It was
Deshaun Kaiser, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
for
it was
Notre
Kaiser.
Dame, was in the game. Aaron Rodgers brought him in and came back, all in the fourth quarter. What y'all think about that?
I think it was pretty dope, man. And I'm glad you mentioned that about the with Aaron Rodgers and his knee and getting shot up. So I read an article about what he said. He actually does not take any shots or any pain pills. Talking about Aaron Rodgers,
Right.
when you mentioned that he went back there, he got shot up. He was like, he's against that. So he was like, it was all the adrenaline. Now, is it true or false? I don't know. But that was his words, that he won't take those type of things. Right now, it is a sprained knee. He's questionable for the week. Hopefully he plays because he's on my fucking fantasy team. So hopefully he plays. But As far as him being better than Brady, I always say to figure that discussion out, have them switch places and see who would be in a better position. I think Aaron Rodgers would be, me personally.
Man, I'm glad you say that because I feel the exact same way. I think Aaron Rodgers is our best quarterback of recent times by far. Because if you switch positions, I think he will excel in Tom Brady's or Bill Belichick's system. I don't know if Tom Brady can excel with Green Bay.
I'll disagree with you. I agree with all of that, but I'll disagree where you say that he's the best of all time for the simple fact that right now I still think that Brady's the best of all time because he's done it.
Well, his numbers, you can't argue with that.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying our pure
talent-wise, though,
talent. Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers
just
easily.
talent.
Talent-wise,
not numbers by far.
Yeah.
Because it's Brady, but just pure talent. Is what
And somebody asked me a question. And I guess since we're here, we'll step on it for a little while. You know what I mean? Like, when you think of talent, when y'all think of talent, do you think that and we see this debate quite a bit when it comes to the GOAT or whatnot, but does championships have a bearing on who's the best or who's not the best?
If you're the reason for those rings, yes.
Right. As a quarterback, like in the position as a quarterback, yes. I think that's one position that it does matter a lot.
Right. Yes.
You had a lot to do with that.
Right. But Robert Ory, no, I'm sorry. But that's,
I mean, he had.
he's good, but
Big
he's
Shot,
not.
his name is Big Shot Robert Orr.
But
I remember during that span,
we're talking goats. Goats.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying during that span, a lot of those rings, if Big Shot Robert Orr didn't hit those big shots, maybe they don't have those.
But he's not in my goat
But
argument.
also,
I'm not. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
not get
talking
into it. And not for you. I'm just saying it for the air.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that Robert Orr is a great. I'm just saying that if he didn't hit those shots, maybe he's not the GOAT. But I want to talk about football in general right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we got a Dan Marino. We got Joe Montana.
Right.
We got Steve Young. You got Brett Favre. You got Drew Brees. You got Tom Brady. You got Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Peyton.
You got Aaron Rodgers now.
Right.
These are people that we've seen over the decade that have been the elite of the elite. Some of them have more rings than others. Do you give more credence to the ones that have rings versus the ones that don't?
What's the determining factor?
I'm just
he
simply
doesn't say
asking.
it.
For me, it's rings. Yeah.
Right now, we're talking about rings.
For me,
Does
it's
rings have more bearing than somebody who doesn't?
That's why Brady's my GOAT.
it's so many
but-
variables. But just as a former, Cowboys
Simplify it.
fan,
Simplify it.
yeah, just as a former Cowboys fan, I seen what Aaron Rodgers did to the Cowboys last year. Like, he does some amazing stuff. Now Brady makes the right play 98% of the time. But how many amazing plays? How many times that does he?
I think
he
that's
duck a lineman, he rolls out, he throws across the field, hits the right man. You're not going to see that play.
To answer your question, I'm sorry, Tom. To answer your question, all of them. You said, how many times do you see Tom Brady make an amazing play? If he's right 98% of the time, which no other quarterback has ever been, then it's all of them.
No, that's the right play. But I'm just saying that highlight play. Where
Gotcha.
he did something outside the norm, had to go off the cuff, just exceptional. That's what I'm talking about. You don't really see that a lot from Brady.
As
All-
a coach,
But, yeah, I mean, of course, we're both. Yeah, go ahead.
but as a coach, you teach your players. Okay, is no I in this
You
team.
teach your
thing, you know what
players?
I'm saying? you teach your players no I in team.
Get that nigga
So
started.
you have to go off of the individual because you have to say that's the greatest team because when they hang that banner up, that bitch got the New England Patriots on that hood. When Green Bay win it, that bitch got Green Bay. So individual shit. If we really want to get on numbers and stuff, we can say Drew Brees in that conversation. But since we're talking about these two individuals, number wise, you got to go with Brady because he's obviously been there longer.
Well,
You know what I'm
number-wise, you still got to get Breeze out of there, too, because we talking. Well, it depends on what's your determining factor. If it's
As
just
we're talking about GOATs, right?
yeah,
Breeze ain't in that conversation. That's like one of the all-time.
not if my
fastest.
determining factor is rings.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My determination when he asked about GOATs is not about rings.
That's what I'm
Because
asking. So what's yours?
When you get rings, it's not Tom Brady and the goddamn Patriots. It's the New England Patriots. You see what I'm saying?
And the MVP of this game was
shit, who if you want to go to last year's MVP, who Nick Foles, is he a GOAT? He was the MVP.
No.
Right. So that's
But
what I'm
that
saying.
matters. You can't see.
Child, who is
you
your
can't-
favorite
You can't say
NFL
that
team?
when.
Who
Go ahead.
that? New Orleans Saints.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
but
just
you
like-
can't say that when we sit here and have the discussion about Jordan and Kobe and we mention NBA Finals MVPs. We do it all the time.
We do.
So yes, it matters. But no, Nick Foles, yes, he's a bum. So with all of the other numbers, he has one ring, doesn't put him in the GOAT conversation.
Right.
He has one MVP, doesn't put him in the GOAT conversation. He doesn't have any numbers, doesn't put him in the GOAT
Right.
conversation. So
when it comes to
No.
GOATs, I just think we can't overlap and go to basketball because football is so many other variables. Like it really is a team effort more than anything.
That's why,
football.
and that's why I said That's why I was determining who would be better out of Rodgers and Brady. And if I have to go off numbers alone, I have to go with Brady. But if I go off talent alone, got to go Rodgers. So,
But you know,
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
the devil's advocate, even of myself, who's to say that Rodgers will work in Belichick's system?
you never know.
Yeah,
Right.
because
I mean,
he
see-
might differentiate from the system too much.
Spygate. I don't know what that nigga said.
What?
But I mean, but the bottom line is, man, it's really hard to say that one person in a system will do what we don't know because they're not in that system. So we have to take them for where they at face value. And speaking of a man who switched systems and dived into a totally different system, we saw Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack was only with he was traded from the Las Vegas Raiders or
Oakland
Oakland
for
Raiders.
now.
Oakland Raiders
For
for
now.
now.
You know what I
Oakland,
mean?
Vegas.
And he switched over to the Chicago Bears. And in that first half, like right out the gate, Khalil Mack exploded for a strip, a sack, a pick six against the Packers all in the first half, basically kind of showing that he was worth the money. He's like I said, he's only been there for a week. And he came in that first half, man, balling out against the Packers. It was in a losing effort, but he actually showed that, man, his worth is probably worth it.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't
shoulda
because of
paid
him.
him.
Right. Exactly. And
You
some
shoulda paid him.
the person who paid him is benefiting from it.
Yeah.
He filled the stat sheets, man. He came in, he got a sack, a fumble, a forced fumble, a pick six, some tackles for losses, a pass deflection. What else you want?
And overall, he got asses in the seats again. Boy.
Exactly. He
He
got
got
people to come see him.
Cheeks and seats. Man.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the bottom line, cheeks and seats.
well,
Put that
you
on the
can't
shirt.
really say that because
Can't
just
say
me
what?
personally, because I have so much family in Chicago.
They're
like,
always gonna be.
they're always gonna be sold out.
Yeah, they're gonna be there.
They can win 2 games. They've been sold out for years.
Mhm.
But I think Oakland they really don't care about the Oakland Raiders. They're more concerned about the Las Vegas Raiders and what they could get for draft picks because they couldn't pay the big time quarterback and Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
so
they
I think
couldn't
they,
match it.
Well,
was
yeah,
no way to
you're
match
right.
it.
He could have even made going forward, man. Them niggas do that all the time, man. All right, man. Just give me this year, and we'll Julio Jones. They doing that right now.
Yeah,
Like next
on.
year, just give me this year, and we'll talk about next year.
But would he have wanted to do that as well? That matters.
Khalil Mack,
Yeah.
they was gonna pay him handsomely this year.
But was he gonna want that?
But
Was he gonna want pay me handsomely now, but not next year, guaranteed wise?
I
at
think,
least?
think he
for
made
the
the
sake of
best-
the franchise, if he wanted to be there,
Mhm.
if you go to him the right way, I do.
The
Because
talk-
he's a professional.
The talks is that once they saw with Aaron Donald's contract, he knew and they knew there was no chance of him being signed in Oakland.
But if you wait one more year, you clear some of that space out. You gonna keep Khalil Mack.
Okay, but does it benefit Khalil Mack to do that? Because what if I go out here and tear my knee up in game 2? Are they gonna give me my $90-100 million?
It's Khalil Mack. Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean,
I'm
just,
not.
If he get hurt.
we just learned in the NFL that like it's very hard. It's very few players that's irreplaceable.
Yeah.
And it's very few players that you can't go find a younger talent and somebody else who can come step in and be a little bit cheaper because it's still a business, and let's never ever forget that. Who could be a little bit cheaper and give you a lot of a bang for your buck. The Raiders was I guess they felt like they was through with them. The Bears got what they got, but at the end they didn't win as a result of it. Now, is Khalil Mack going to be enough to be able to make them a Super Bowl championship? I don't know if a linebacker does that. Just like we saw with
Oakland stunk it up though. Defensively,
they
stunk it up.
did. They did. And I mean that's something to be said. That's why I said like in the NFL is one player, especially a defensive player, enough to make the change. I don't know. And it's just like we saw with the Steelers. We saw that Connor, he stepped in and he had a big game spelling Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is still in his contract dispute with the Pittsburgh Steelers. James Conner stepped in. He had 31 carries for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, he did have one big, huge, costly fumble, which allowed the Browns to be able to just walk right in the end zone, and then ultimately they won, right?
No, it's 21-21. It's
21.
tied.
Yeah, it tied it up.
21-21.
Yeah, it ended up in a tie. But without that fumble, we don't.
Yeah, they win.
They would have won easily, right?
He said it. He needed to play better. That's what's on the goal for this week is to play better.
But it just go to show that do I pay this player all of this money or do I play this, like we have said in previous shows, the young gun who's coming in, who is a lot cheaper, who can still give us the same, who can pretty much give us the same output.
At running back, I'll say no, but at DN, I'll say yes.
No what?
No, I'm not paying no running back that much money.
Right.
But
Okay.
I'll pay
and
a DN.
I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page.
I'll pay that to a DN.
I'll
Somebody
pay that
has to
a
get
DN.
it. Yes.
DN and quarterback, I can see myself busting the bank.
In the left
Any other
tackle.
position,
Left tackle.
in the National Football
yeah,
League,
O-line.
even left tackle, you're gonna be a little bit farther down there.
Yeah,
but,
it's not gonna be that much.
Yeah. But the defensive end and quarterback, I break the bank for you.
Yeah. Because as we can see,
And
man, if
you break the bank for Khalil Mack.
think about it.
If you got the bank, open it and let him get what he wants out of there.
Imagine
Understand?
if New England gets a Khalil Mack, the impact he makes on they're already good.
Yeah.
So he puts them over the top. So why not pay that for him?
I mean,
Le'Veon Bell doesn't really change New England.
I just think he was just a great fit for Chicago. Like a
He
young middle linebacker. I think Eddie Jackson is gonna be one of the up and coming great safeties. Because
Where he at?
he in Chicago.
Damn, them boy defense loaded. Man.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's what Chicago is built on.
Defense.
Yeah, and I think
defense.
Oakland they might want to maybe invest more on the offensive side, be more flashy because you got to think they're moving to Vegas.
I'm trying to think what else they can get on offense. They have the quarterback. They have the receiver. Who's the running back?
They need another receiver.
But for who? The Bears?
No, the Oakland.
The Raiders.
Oakland.
Marshawn Lynch.
So I don't know what
Beast
else they
mode.
need. What else they gonna
But
need on offense?
I don't think. But Marshawn Lynch is not gonna make it to Vegas.
He's
probably
not. But for right now, he fits the bill.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so-
that's not a franchise running back at this
not
point.
anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Shouts out to James Conner. He just put a lot of pressure on the Pittsburgh
And
Steelers.
he's on my fantasy team too.
to the
Sorry.
side.
Thank you, Le'Veon.
what it is they're gonna do. Diving into college football, we have a few matchups that's coming up this week, and I'm definitely interested to understand y'all take. We got Alabama versus Texas A&M. We got Michigan versus Nebraska, Stanford versus Oregon, as well as Washington versus Arizona State. I'm gonna start with you. Where you going with your picks as far as these games are concerned?
Let me see. What's the most important? We would say Stanford, or it ain't that many good games. Okay, I'll just start from the top. It might be Alabama, Texas A&M. Now that I think about it, because Texas A&M played pretty good, but the way Alabama playing right now, my God, it's gonna be tough for anybody to beat them boys. So of course I'm going with Bama. They look like the total team, defensively, offensively, special team wise, coaching, fans. I don't know what the fuck they don't have the edge on Texas A&M. Well, maybe the fans. Texas A&M have some hell of a fan. So
Are they in?
Where they playing?
I don't know.
Where they playing at?
You're right. I don't know. I need to look
There's
and make
look
sure.
up Alabama,
Look at-
Texas
look at-
A&M.
look and see what
game
Texas A&M
and see
play.
where it's at.
But who you saying? Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Bama. I'm gonna
All right.
say Bama's playing at home for the simple fact they're on the road right here. But I'm gonna go Bama because I like Tua. Tua's a motherfucker. Michigan, Nebraska. Nebraska lost to Troy today, so I think they'll come out with some fire. But you lost to Troy today. I'm going Michigan. Stanford versus Oregon. Stanford's number 9. Oregon. I like what I've been seeing in Oregon, but it's tough to go against the number 9. Ain't Oregon like 10 or something? What was Oregon? Not 10, but
They're not ranked.
Oregon not ranked?
No.
Because they played amazing last week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go...
It's probably because they got rid of Willie Taggart.
Damn, Taggart. Taggart lost to Syracuse today by a lot.
I don't like
I'm
that town.
going to go Stanford out of Stanford and Oregon. I'm going Stanford. Washington State against the fighting Arizona State. What's my man name? Yeah. What's my no? Herman Edwardses. The fighting Herman Edwardses.
Fighting Herman.
I'm going with Herman Edwards in the upset out this
Okay.
bitch. Goddamn. I got to pick an upset. Fuck it. So
All
that's
right.
going to be my upset.
So that's your picks. All right, I got
Yeah.
you. Where you at, Todd?
All right. I'm gonna go Bama, of course, because they is putting a goddamn ass whooping on these boys here today. So I'm gonna stay with Alabama. Michigan, they gonna thrash Nebraska, I think. Stanford as well. They gonna get to Oregon. I think Bryce Love is really do a good game.
I think he out today, too. Bryce Love. He hurt.
I don't know.
I know.
They had it up there.
Yeah, he out.
They did the side by side. I think he gonna have.
But they were playing some bums or us or some shit.
And it's hard to go against what Washington doing with that quarterback and Peterson because he'll pull the rabbit out his ass. But I'm gonna go Arizona State just because Herman Edwards my guy.
nigga, the fighting Herman Edwards.
The fighting Herman Edwards.
Fighting Herman. Who you got? Can't get right.
I got Bama because that goes without being said. I think Scott Frost gets his first signature win, so I'm gonna go with Nebraska.
His first win. Fuck signature.
Yeah.
He 0-2 right now.
I'm gonna go with Stanford and Washington.
Oh yeah, Bama playing in Bama.
They in Bama.
Yeah, they at Bama.
Okay,
We picked
so
Bama
Texas
anyway.
A&M
We'll
and
pass.
Bama. Okay, and I think everybody gonna be the same across the board. My picks, I got Alabama over Texas A&M. I feel like Texas A&M got some big receivers that give Alabama a little bit of trouble, but with Tua behind that helm, we see Alabama just like we've said leading up to this point. In the argument between Hurts and Tua. It is just a totally different Alabama team. They're scary
49 in the
with
first
Tua
half.
with Tua behind him.
Right.
So I'm gonna just go Alabama. Although Mound, whatever his name is, he did look
Kellen Mond, yeah.
he did look very good in regards to Texas A&M is concerned. I like the stat line he picked up, but it's just not gonna be enough to beat Alabama. Michigan and Nebraska. Nebraska, like everybody else said, they was looking bad against Troy. On 3 for Scott Frost. Sorry, I know you should have stayed with the fake national championship down there in Central Florida.
Self-proclaimed.
But, since you decided to go to Nebraska and not come to Florida State like you should have, and we got stuck with Willie T. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
I hope you go on 3, nigga. And
I don't
good,
like that
good
Willie
job,
T.
Michigan. They gonna win that one.
Killer Willie T.
Right. Willie T, that Gulf Coast offense, he could have left that.
Gulf Coast.
Stanford and Oregon, it's really just hard to go against Stanford. Yeah, I know y'all said Love is hurt. Is he going to be back for that game?
I don't know yet. He hurt tonight, though. He out for the game tonight.
Well, I will say with Love, man, he had a big game, but, man, Love had 40 carries, man, that game. Like,
He ran him in the ground.
I mean, he had 40 carries, 165 yards, man. That's
Not
just
that
like,
good in
that's
college.
like having
That's
100,000 yards on your, 100,000 miles on your tires right out the gate, man. Like that shit going. Hey, it's time to change the motherfucker.
But if he sits tonight, he gonna be mad.
I still think overall Stanford is a very good program. I love their coach. I love what he does out there with what it is that they do. He's very good at getting the most out of his players. They play a very vanilla brand of football, but they're good at what they do. So Stanford, I got Stanford. Washington Huskies and Arizona State. I know a lot of people went with Herm. Herm Edwards going to be out of college football, in my personal opinion. Not too long. So I'm going to go with Washington on that one. Browning and with Gaskins, man, those boys are some good players with Fuller catching passes. I like Washington. That's my personal opinion on that.
I'm glad you mentioned them big receivers for that may hurt Alabama, and I thought that same thing with Ole Miss because Ole Miss got some pretty big receivers, but god damn, right now they getting thrashed. It's 49-7 at the start of the third, and these big Ole Miss receivers ain't did nothing yet. Yeah, and they going in again with their backup quarterback.
I mean, yeah, it's Alabama loaded. That's what I said. That's Tua doing.
Sick of them niggas,
to me.
man. My God.
We see tonight, man, boxing, man. For those boxing fans who are out there, we love boxing.
We going to watch the fight.
We about to get ready to go watch the fight in just a few minutes. Canelo Alvarez is battling Triple G. This is their second fight. It was derailed a couple times due to I think it was performance enhancing drugs that Canelo got caught up with. The first fight, Triple G won. Who y'all got? Who you got? Who?
They won. He won.
Triple G won the
It
first.
was a draw. It was a draw. Right. It was a draw. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, it's tough because I think it was a draw the first fight. Because I think that
I thought Canelo won first fight.
Yeah,
me personally.
Canelo won a lot of the early rounds, and then later on, Triple G kind of dominated the end. So I get why they say that, but I'm gonna go Triple G because I actually watched it. I was in a little Mexican restaurant yesterday, and of course they had that on the TV. Man, they did the weigh in. Canelo weighed in at like 149 or 159. I think it's 160. So probably 159 point something. And as soon as he weighed in, he went to go sit down. My man damn near passed out. Like, man, it's hard to be in that type of shape and still have the energy and the fluids in your body that you need. Like, the nigga couldn't even sit down without about to be a passer.
Yeah,
so
because it's crazy. Because I mean, I think like their weigh-in and their actually weight, like it'd be like 10, 12 pounds. Yeah. Like they basically dehydrate themselves, starve themselves.
We're gonna see how much they weigh today. It was
That's
150.
They both
was 159.
It'd be like a balloon.
Yeah,
like,
it's
for
crazy.
real.
Like
But
10, 15 pounds. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Canelo on this one.
Who I say?
But I think it's. I mean,
Triple G.
Okay, I say Triple G.
I think it's gonna be very close.
Yeah, it's
the
tough.
last one was close.
You
can
took
have your
Triple G?
opinion.
Yeah, I took Triple G.
Who you say, Joe?
I think I'm gonna go with Canelo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Alvarez myself. I think, but that boy got a chin, man. Like
they both do.
Yeah, they
Canelo
tough.
was hitting him with
They
them.
tough.
He was hitting
Triple
him with
G
them
tough.
shots, man. He was just eating them.
I think the only thing that saved Triple G last time was that Biz the Fighter shit. Me personally, being a boxing fan, I hate that Biz the Fighter just because you tap, keep hitting, and you keep throwing your hands, but you're not really landing significant. I feel like Canelo landed the more harder shots,
Yes,
the more he had big bricks in his glove.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Triple G, and I think Triple G gonna win. We saw that Mayweather and Pacquiao, they talking about discussing a fight that they gonna fight. I know me personally at this point, man, I love Mayweather. Mayweather was a great fighter. He was exciting, but he's been robbing us. And I'm sorry, at this point, I'm not paying for another Mayweather fight, like, period. I don't care what happened. I'll just wait for the highlights or wait for it to replay. But he's robbing us, and I'm not interested in seeing him and Pacquiao fight. That's like watching the 85 Bears line up now against the
Dolphins.
the
Patriots. What it was, the Ravens.
The Patriots.
Ray Lewis,
right
yeah, man. I don't want to see that shit no more at this point, and I don't want to see them. You robbing us, and you think we stupid. You robbed us with the fight against
the
Berto.
last five.
Yeah,
last five.
You definitely robbed us with Berto. You robbed us with what's my man? He fought from Ireland.
Conor McGregor.
You robbed us
Conor
with the first
McGregor.
Pacquiao.
Yeah, man. You been
The
robbing
first
us.
fight,
And
Yeah, the first Pacquiao.
we love you, man. You're a great fighter, and we've never seen a skill set to you. We love to watch you fight, but you're not gonna get us no more. So. Does anybody want to see that?
They was in the club. Fuck no. They was in the club last night. Goddamn fussing. I got the belt. That's all Pacquiao said 8 times. I got the belt. I think that's the only English he know. My bad.
None of us.
I got the belt.
None of us want to see this because I think we are like boxing fans, but we're gonna watch this some way. So.
I'll watch it, but I don't.
Just are.
I'm not buying it.
It's like
I'm
an
not buying
antique
it
car
I don't want to
brand
buy it
or
neither.
something.
I don't know who house is gonna be at.
And not only am I not buying it, I'm not putting in on buying it either, goddamn it. So whoever put in, I'm coming. But I ain't.
Todd hosting it. Todd gonna host it.
Y'all
But I
made very
never
clear.
hosted nothing but a birthday party.
Y'all made very clear that y'all don't want to watch that shit.
I will, but I don't care to for real.
Yeah,
I want to watch it, but yeah,
I'm not gonna let him get me no more, man. The last 5-6 fights
he
of
won't.
his has been spectacles, but they've just been tap move. I don't want to see tap move. I want to see a nigga get hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and whatever. We gonna see what happens.
Like tonight, guys.
The dummy of the week.
Dumbass dummy.
Stupid ass
dummy. Dumb dummy. Ignorant dummy.
Big dummy.
It's
Racist
Kenner,
dummy.
It's Kenner, Louisiana. We're going to Kenner, Louisiana. It's a suburb right outside of New Orleans. Kenner Mayor Ben Zine, he rescinds his order banning that the city's recreation department, he had banned them from purchasing Nike products at the city's recreation facilities. It wasn't even a week after he said that he was banning Nike products, that he came back and said that, oh, you know what? I changed my mind.
Wishy-washy.
I don't want this heat. We saw that the New Orleans Saints. Shouts out to the Saints. A lot of players from the Saints stepped up and said, like, nah, man, we ain't
Having that
rocking with you. New Orleans, we know New Orleans showed up, you know. Chocolate City. Nagin told us that it was Chocolate City. Not saying that Nagin, no endorsement, just saying he called it Chocolate City. They stood up and said, like, hey, man, hey, you out there, we don't agree with it. And just a week later, we saw that my man is changing his tune on it and decided to lift the ban that he tried to self-impose not even a week later. So shouts out to you for being the dummy of the week.
Dumbass dummy.
And that's how we feel about you.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really have much else. Like, y'all got something y'all want to talk about or anything else y'all want to dive into?
Nigga, we going to the motherfucking beach next week, you heard me? We gonna be at the beach. We recording at the beach.
So shouts out to, hey, we going to Destin,
Dummies
man.
at the beach, man.
That's why I'm glad these games are trash for real. So we can go out and just have fun, have a blast. And the next episode, the weekly recap is gonna be something amazing.
I'm at that point in my life where these games don't really even matter, man. Like think about it. Every game that's been on, we've been recording through. We paid a little here and there too, but man,
Right.
You catch the highlights,
Yeah.
and okay,
It is what
it is what it is.
I just care about, making this podcast great. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
Make the podcast great again.
having said that,
Hear
that was episode number 1, baby.
Yeah.
Of the
One.
Dumbest podcast.
First
You
of
know,
all.
like I said, you
The
can
social medias.
yeah, man. All the social media is the Dummies podcast. Everything. That's Instagram. That's Twitter. That's Facebook. That's all of our internet.
On Twitter, it's the Dummies Pod because they got a letter limit.
Oh yeah, that was the big.
Yeah, we okay. I want to talk about that. Why the fuck it gotta be Dummies Podcast rather than the Dummies? Because originally we're the Dummies, right?
No. Say the difference between
I said
It was between Dummies Pod, which is not a regular thing that someone says, or Dummies Podcast. Like, all you doing is taking off the.
I know, but that's what my point is. Originally, we are the Dummies.
Yeah, but I think it's just easier for people to search and remember Dummies Podcast than the Dummies Pod and have to cut off podcast.
But it doesn't say the
And
Dummies Pod, dude. It just says
it says
Dummies Pod.
it says the Dummies Pod. That was the whole thing. We had to either take out cast
Yeah,
or
you couldn't
the.
have it all.
You got it. Which one you gonna take out, the or cast? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm the Dummies is what the title of us are.
Right.
So I'm gonna take that out. And podcast is short. Pod is short for podcast.
Dummy.
Regardless, that's where you can find us. God damn it.
The Dummies.
The Dummies. And we'll be back next week live from the beach. Yeah, dig. Thank you for tuning in.
Dummy.